Lord, wrap the silence round him tight. Stone don't speak, but it remembers right.
Velvet on the headstone, prayers in the marble brain. Doe feathers float where the narcos never carve a name. Wool suits in the summer smell like pine box breath. Still got ghosts from the kitchen where the Pyrex sweat. Grew from the drought like moss on a tomb wall. A kilo in the hymn book, choir never knew God. Dog tags in the desk where my ledger stay. 100 grams short, somebody bled today. Grit like the gravel at your grandmother's steps. Talk holy to the fiends, watch them vanish in debt. My mama wore black like she practiced grief, long before the Lord came to snatch my teeth.
Velvet don't stop the pain, still they dress him soft in shame.
Every bar been a eulogy, gritted with clarity. I got shot and came back with a charity. Velvet on the casket, mask on the driver, chrome on a coke rack. God is a liar. Crib smell like ghosts and unswept dreams. Mouth full of bullets, I don't just spit schemes. Hospital band in my safe by the paper. Cross on my neck, but I talk to my maker like, where was you when the shot rang out? Now I peel back the roof just to let pain out. Same kitchen where the ox got baptized. Same eyes saw mama with her hands tied.
Velvet don't stop the pain, still they dress him soft in shame.
Gird off the gravel with the seat still blood soaked. Blast right scribbled on the dash like gun notes. Velvet on my lap like I sat on grief. Mac on the table, clips wrapped like wreath. Machine gun prayer over soul food plates. Heard the Reaper hum opera at a federal gate. China white in the prayer box, St. Jude wet. I stitch halos in the suits where the shooters slept. I talk money in whispers, marble in my diction. Buried 3 cousins, all blame the addiction. Mink dragged through the rain, smell like regret, but the tags still hang and the blade still wet.
Velvet don't stop the pain, still they dress him soft in shame. Stone cold velvet warm, but neither one can right what's wrong.
Even scripture fades on concrete, but the word walks in the blood of the street. Tattooed hands held prayer beads and dice. Spoke Sanskrit stanzas over streets iced twice. Cracked lips whisper codes in concrete prayers. Each syllable a cipher, truth caught unawares. Burnt sage from the corner store, incense pack. Old heads nodded, said the gods always come back. Leather-bound journals hid beneath hoodies. Next to blades, beneath truths never shown to rookies. The block had monks, just never wore robes. They walked in silence, mapped sins and strobes. Gold fronts glimmered with ancient math. Smoke peace in the booth, but war in the path. Blood on the brick like a vow unsigned. Wrote verses with ash, not ink this time. Prayers break dance where the curb meets light. Sanskrit scribbled in the rain by street light. Teachers with teardrops read psalms and slang. Taught the gospel of Glocks and how calm a rain. Protect your neck, ain't just a phrase in the cipher. It's how monks on the block survived the life. Or even silence has scriptures if you knew how to hear it. Footsteps of ghosts chanting mantras near. So we meditate with beats and bass drums. In the temple of the stoop where real peace comes. Scriptures in the gutter, ain't truth on a brick. Every bar's a sermon, every rhyme's a flick.
They never signed their names in stone. How about the rhythm knew who they were?
I seen saints with chalk-stained hands and shoelace belts, spitting gospel about pain that nobody else felt. Heard him quote Langston over busted beats. Turn a milk crate sermon in the church on the streets. He ain't tweet, he ain't post, he just taught. Drop truth like coins in a jukebox start. Wrote murals in steam on abandoned trains. Heard applause in silence, felt pride in rain. Said never chase gold, sun chased the glow. Then lit up the dusk with a whisper real low. These cats ain't legends in the record bins, but they planted whole gardens in our broken skins.
They drew their dreams in alley light, in Bennett's bayou, Peru, to light. They
He wore a trench full of stories, stitched with grime, talked in jazz riffs, bent structure and time, painting miles with a bic on a paper plate, preach truth over break beats at heaven's gate. No grants, no stage, no frame to claim, but every verse he birthed was a moth to flame. Drop lessons with a matchstick in a Marlboro, turn trash can lids into abstract sorrows. Son, he said don't rhyme to survive, write like your soul trying to stay alive. So I bleed on wax for them sidewalk priests who lit up the night when the fame had ceased.
They drew their dreams in alley light, and let us find you green rooms in light. They drew their dreams in alley light, and vanished quiet still with Desmond, you and I.
God speaks in brushstrokes sometimes. On brick, on bone, on hearts, we forgot to fret. I was born between pallets of pain and hope, where grandmama's dry tears in denim and soap. My uncle used to draw sons on the back of eviction notes. Said, child, don't let the world choke the art in your throat. Crayons in the cracks of the church pew floor, while a sermon rang out through the liquor store door. I saw murals rise where they laid chalk lines, and young poets spit truth in graffiti designs. We ain't had much, but we had rhythm and grace. Turned boarded up homes in the gallery space. Some paint with oil, some bleed through the pen. We just try to make beauty where the silence has been.
There's an easel in the alleyway, shadowed and still. It holds the dreams we paint when the world won't heal.
I write scriptures on street signs, sermons on stoops, sling poems like jazz and forbidden loops. Mama hum Nina while folding the sheets, and pop etch portraits with cracked receipts. There's a rhythm in the rust, a verse in the K. I found truth in a sketchbook thrown away. No degree, just instinct to sharpen soul, turning corners of pain into pieces whole. I seen boys trace dreams on the backs of trains, throw tags on pain just to free their chains. This ain't just pain, it's a war cry, quiet and clear, of resistance in color when no one wanted.
There's an easel in the alleyway, shadowed and still. It holds the dreams we paint when the world won't heal.
You don't light a candle in war to see. You light it to remember you're still human.
I bled through the linen, dream stitched with sin. Crooked preachers in the back room baptizing gin. Smoke in my lungs, but the sermon still breathe. Got scripture in the clip if the spirit don't leave. Project rooftop, angels ducking the lead. They scribble in psalms in chalk where the innocent bled. Concrete gospel bullets hummed in a choir. One wrong prayer and the steeple catch fire. Mama lit candles, prayed peace to the block, but the Lord took the stairs and the devil took stock. Now it's AK rhythms and burnt incense. Holy water can't rinse with them graveyard scents. Every shell case like a testimony dropped. Deacons wear hoodies, truth ziplocked. My rosary's a chain, cold metal and grief. Each bead is a body, each prayer's a thief. Gunpowder psalms in a torn King James. Recite murder ballads under government names. Salvation ain't free, they come with a stash. Buried next to a Bible with a serial scratch. Smoke rise slow where the saints once played, and the choir got replaced with the sound of grenades. Still I scribble on the margins of fate, trying to find a verse sharp enough to puncture hate. Gunsmoke gospel, preach with the flame. Psalms on the pavement, echoes wide day. They say the game got no elders, but the blueprint is hitting in the ruins, waiting for hands steady enough to read it. Cracked vaults in my cortex, I spit scrolls, blueprints buried beneath the weight of lost souls. I dust them off like a mason with memory, every bar chiseled with pain. That's the pedigree, corner codes written in blood on loose paper. Lessons from the gods, not a textbook of fakers. See men build empires, then vanish in one breath. Legacy ain't loud, it's that whisper before death. Came from where the rats talk and the bricks sweat, where the young dream in grams and die in debt. I ain't here to entertain, I decode collapse, every rhyme a prepared. Every pause a relapse. I follow trends, I follow fate with a blueprint laid by ghosts who spoke in ash and truth. And I don't floss, I forecast, clear with conviction. A prophet with a scar where the mask met friction. Rough bridge buried deep in the marrow in it. Only real was the code, what the world dismissed. Blueprints buried deep in the marrow in it. Only real was the code, what the world dismissed. I analyze angles, blueprint in my mental. Schematics etched in syllables, sharp and essential. I came from the era where pain wrote the lectures, when loyalty bled out, measured in textures. The ink ain't just rhyme, it's revolt in the skies. A template for the youth who see life through lies. I watch thrones rot cause the heirs forgot. What was built on stone can't survive in a plot. This ain't rap, it's architecture in motion. A cipher for soldiers submerged in emotion. Grime on my boots but my spirit stay clean. Blueprint from the block mixed with scholar routines. This that scribble gospel in a prison yard Bible, where silence means death and trust suicidal. I unroll a scroll like a blueprint reborn for the next sun risen in a crown of thorns.
He fed the hungry with his last, and now his name fades in black.
They lit candles on crates where the saint used to preach. Spoke gospel in grams, gave a sermon on each. Blessed the fiends with a fix and a truth-laced word. Had a 38 Bible and his voice never slurred. From the steps of a tenement, his prayers hit the sky. Told the shorties wear armor when they answer the why. He wore pain like a garment stitched out of dope sacks. Preached peace to the killers while they counted they packs. Whispers call him martyr, some call him myth, but the blood on his palm still testifies he lived. Left scripture on walls in the code. Only hustlers get real parables and chalked in the rain made him wet. He ain't die on no cross, but the hood made him holy. His requiem rings raw in a world acting phony.
He walked through fire with no choir behind. Saint of the block left his sermon in grind.
We ain't bury him with gold, just a flannel and grief. But his memory grow roses through the cracks in the street. Used to quote Baldwin with a Marlboro glow. Said freedom ain't a flag, it's the weight that you tow. Taught me silence is a weapon if you swing it with grace. And revenge is a mirror with your own damn face. He was more than a myth, he was marrow and brick. Kept a razor in his Bible and a prayer for the sick. Said the law ain't just legal, be wise. And God don't wear robes, just tears in disguise. He vanished one dust like the last verse of light. Now the kids write his name in their dreams every night. They say legends never die, but they sure do ache. He was the shepherd of wolves and the world built to break.
He walked through fire with no choir behind. Saint of the block left his sermon in grind. Forgive us, Saint, for forgetting your name. Let your requiem blaze in the sound of the rain.
They tried to cut the drums from the dirt, but the heartbeat still sings in the earth.
My pops wore linen and monsoons with sandals. Told me, son, truth is fire with a waxless candle. Old myths in his hands when he flicked the pappadum. Now I break bread with the past when the rap's begun. Gold cufflinks shaped like Ashoka lions. My mind silent but strikes like appliance irons. Nine and nostalgia both warm in the center, where we pray facing east, throw the wars at the center. Temples in my lines, gird warriors in my grammar. Slang got spice like my auntie Sandbar. Even the shadows in my hood know the ragas. We grew where the gods still dream in sagas.
Carry your roots in every rhyme. The sacred lies in rhythm and time.
Yo, from the dirt floors to the burst of the Wally light. My soul's coated in the dark, but it shine right. Brown skin militant, 5 rings in the page. Stories passed down in whispers like a timeless sage. I rep the ink of the ancient, not the fake decor. Scrolls on the wall, war chants behind doors. We ain't struggled for dinner, but still made it gourmet. And wrote scriptures on beats like it's foreplay. My uncle wore to lock, my aunt sang guzzles. Now I spit bars shaped like divine puzzles. I stay rooted even when the leaves blow strange. My history too deep to be rearranged.
Carry your roots in every rhyme. The sacred lies in rhythm and time.
Yeah, I trace my lines back to the spice ports, where the drum spoke truth before courts. Every syllable a script from my ancestors' scroll. I spit Kalidasa with a Brooklyn soul. Threads in my garments stitched with mantra. I channel my forebears, fire through tantra. Even my slang got turmeric in the tone. It heals when it hits like I'm speaking from a throne. Rhodey in my lunchbox, truth in my breath. Woke up in the west, but I'm armed with the deaf. They label it exotic, I just call it mine. From Sanskrit to slang, the design divine.
Brings flowers through an ultimated chalk. I praise loudest when the bullets start.
Yeah, I lit candles with hands that been stained with weight. Told God I was sorry, but I showed up late. Mama wept in a soup broth thick with grief, while I studied the blade tucked beneath my seat. The church bell cracked, but we still showed love with a 22 tucked where I kept my gloves. Street scripture scribbled on my shoebox lids. That's where I buried all my unborn kids. Tried to tithe in grams, thought he'd understand that I flipped out of hunger not to be the man. And if he sees all, then he's seen me cry, writing psalms on receipts when my best friend died.
Ashes on the altar, prayers in the street. Even holy water got blood at its feet.
I gave confessions to the liquor store clerk. He said, hurt don't sleep, it just learn to smirk. Used to dream of heaven in a polo coat. Now it's R.I.P. shirts and cigarette smoke. Ain't no psalms for a corner boy's fate. We quote dead rappers and medicate late. My sins wear boots and stomp through my dreams. And the Lord don't answer when the clips scream. Cross around my neck, been pawned 4 times. Every time I sin, I wrote cleaner rhymes. Told my shorty don't pray, just plan your escape. Cause the angels look down but don't intervene late.
Ashes on the altar, prayers in the street. Even holy water got blood at his feet. Beneath every hymn is a hollowed out plea. Ashes keep purring, will I won't persevere. Oppressive eyes, worn hands still dreaming fire. Pick up the grind, oppressive eyes, worn hands still dreaming fire.
She mops in silence till her fingers scream. Then walks home slow, stepping through steam. Clock 16 hours, no applause, no crown. But she still hums hymns on the Greyhound downtown. Crack heels, coupon dreams in her purse. Wears hope like armor, even when it hurts. Her son sketch rhymes on the back of receipts. Wants to climb from the cold with cassette tape beats. No savior came, so she taught her math. In the kitchen lit dim with a gospel path. The stove broke, the roof leaks when it rains. But love strong enough to baptize the stains.
We walk through smoke with pockets torn. Still sing like morning just been born.
He stacks crates at dawn, back bent like truth. Each lift a stanza from forgotten youth.
A poet with blisters and warehouse sweat, but he rhymed to the rhythm, the sun ain't set. Anti-cell mangles where the rent too steep. Recites Nina Simone while the baby sleep. Ain't no Netflix here, just bootlegs and saints. Every crack in the wall hold a painter's complaint. They ain't broke, just broke open and bled. Wrote stories in steam from the rice and bread. Quali's song, in the shadows they shine. They breath carry wisdom, no textbook define. Yeah.
We walk through smoke with pockets torn. Still sing like morning just been born.
No pulpit, no robe, no claim to fame. Still they carve halos in every name.
They don't see crime when we cover the grave, but these walls got stories we needed to say.
He ghost tags bridges before the sunrise, dodging train lights, mask on, so wise. A can in his grip, prophecy in his stroke. No gallery wanted him, so the brick wall spoke. Ink drip memories of a cousin in chalk. Outline wings on concrete, the city don't talk. They call it deface, but he call it rebirth. A mural of hope, spraying pain in the work. Sirens scream past, but he don't flinch. This is Sistine, done from the chain link. He seen bullets paint walls, red with grief. Now he blend blue skies on the overpass reef. The brush got caught in the lawman's snare, but color still dances in midnight air. The brush got caught in the lawman's snare, but color still dances in midnight air. Mega tagged his brother's name behind the precinct, right where they laid him, justice extinct. He sketched dubs on dumpsters, halos on hydrants. Each piece protest, though silent and vibrant. His mother cried when she saw the train roll. His son's alias sliding past in gold. No commission, no patrons, no press, just street lights and a paint-stained vest. Every wall's a canvas they said he can't use, but he wrote poems in pigment, blues for the abused. And when he died, the whole block knew, cause the city looked brighter in shades of his truth. The brush got caught in the lawman's snare, but color still dances in midnight air. The brush got caught in the lawman's snare, but color still dances in midnight air.
They erased his name atop this frame. The cross and whispers on the gate. They erased his name, not his flame. The wall still whispers what he became.
Guess I was born with too much sin.
They dipped me in that basin, said I'll come out clean, but I rose up seeing visions they ain't never seen. My open smoke scriptures, my arm prayed crack. I learned hallelujahs don't bring no daddy back. Mama wore white to court, not to church, crying while a bailiff left her soul in a lurch. These preachers shake hands with devils in silk. Bless the blood money, drink guilt like milk. Baptized in a city where the righteous get robbed, and the choir sings murder over corn on the cob. Still I spit psalms in alleys with wine-soaked floors. My gospel ain't clean, it crawls and roars.
They pour their lies in holy streams. Weed now I drown, when now there's someone I do.
Came out the womb already condemned. Soul on parole from a generational lens. Bible on my nightstand, gun in my lap. Hope got shot, the night faith took a nap. I heard choirs and gunshots, verses and screams, and angels caught strays in government schemes. The priest sold dope, the mayor kissed rings, and they both say grace while the jailhouse sings. My baptism burned like gasoline flame. They said it's purification, I call it shame. So I write these hymns for the hollow and broke, for the kid at the altar with a barbed wire yoke.
They pour their lies in holy streams. They pour their lies in holy, steady in your face. If
Truth survives where lies are grown.
Cracked ceilings and pipe leaks, that's where I write my thesis. Scripture on the margins of bills and court releases. My art ain't gallery bound, it breathe on block walls. Graffiti souls from corners where angels forgot to call. Fatherhood taught me patience, the streets taught me pace. Now I lace my son's lessons with wisdom I used to waste. They took jazz from the alley, turned it into gold, but we still hum Coltrane when the night turns cold. A poet with prison letters and love in his veins, still sketches Sistine stories in the shelter of rain. Brush strokes on broken walls, we paint with pain and pride. Even in the ruins, our colors never die.
I seen mules cry tears when the painter got shot, and a child picked the brush up where his uncle had dropped. Legacies whisper in the winter tenements, truth buried deep where the rent money went. My pen drips sepia stained by brownstone truths, sipping on time while the corner store youth. Dreaming mixtapes, vinyl crack cassettes. We etch God in verses when memory forgets. A son's first sketch on the wall with crayons, feel like a prayer in a world that prays on.
Where the shadows meet the saints, I still hear the lost complain.
I was raised with a gutter saying, like stained glass choirs, dirt on my soul, but my dreams caught fire. Old heads whisper tales of the crown and the wire. Kids pitch hope like it's ounces they hire. They prayed in basements, scriptures on the ceiling. Mama's rosary wrapped tight round her feelings. Past midnight, gun smoke kissed the steeple, while grandma cooked sermons for the crippled and feeble. Each step a parable, I walk like an omen, caught outlines drawn like a prophet's foretoken. Knowledge tucked in the cuff of a North Face coat, still quote Sun Tzu over buttered rye toast.
Where the sins are cold and deep, we blend grace so it may read.
Time ain't linear, where I write my scrolls. It bends like a spoon in a war of souls. I seen angels in hoodies and devils in robes, both sipping tea on them Harlem roads. A child cried wisdom beneath a cracked statue. His tears carved hymns in the brick like tattoos. Legends ain't buried, they walk in disguise. And bodegas, they barter with prophetic eyes. I wrote this with a pen from a dying librarian whose silence told stories of an aged barbarian. He said truth ain't a mirror, it's a maze of glass. You bleed when you pass, but you see it last.
When the dust has claimed the street, God still moves through aching feet.
In the rust of the world, I found melodies missing, notes that slept in the cracks of old prisons. My uncle taught chess with a blade on his ankle. His night moved silent, but his pain was ample. The priest spoke code in a subway confession. Said even devils sometimes teach a lesson. Kids swap dreams for a nickel of escape, trading fate for a flicker behind a fire escape. I don't rap, I revive ancient lost scriptures, spray murals with verbs and invisible fixtures. I ain't trying to be king, I'm the man with the torch, lighting path for the souls at the empire scorch.
Light don't flinch in winds of sin, it waits for us to walk within. If you win on to one thing, child, wait be, mine worst seems loud.
They say the greatest quiet are still hum, with names we whisper and vows we run from.
Hey yo, the ghost of Raheem still talks in my hall. His voice crackle like static on a prison call. Used to grip 38s with a quiet boy's hands. Now we haunt dice games and half-burnt grams. I see murals fade when the weather shift. His face peels slow like the lies we live. The preacher walked past with his head down low, said a prayer for the block, then dipped real slow. I carry 3 deaths in my leather coat. 2 homies, 1 child, all dreams I wrote. Still hear the sirens like bedtime songs, where the lullaby's wrong and the night's too long.
These graves stay open under streetlight breath. No shovel can hide unresolved death.
Every coffin I seen got my DNA. Every loss got a verse I still can't say. I kiss the past through chain link fences. Love buried deep in state-bought trenches. They don't mourn us right, just balloons and teas. Our obituaries drown in summer's disease. I remember when Black got shot on Lennox. I held his last verse, no gimmicks. He said, Mag, make him feel it when I'm ash and wind. So I write each line like I owe him 10. No organ in church hit like guilt and dreams. And no choir out shouts what silence screams.
No gun can preach like a mother's cry. No crown can shine like a tear-stained sky.
They used to call me Lil Preacher with a crooked halo, spitting psalms in a cipher so lit like clay bowls. Back when grandmama's kitchen smelled of cornbread and pain, and every prayer over grits tried to cleanse the bloodstains. Pops wore silence like a second skin, worked 3 jobs, still lost to the bottle within. But he told me, son, keep your name clean as linen. So I spit with a purpose like the prophets in prison. A hood saint with scuffed hymns and scriptures in rhyme. I found heaven in ciphers and hell in my mind. Taught the shorties how to break chains with verses, build temples in the trap, flip curses to purses.
Gold teeth don't hide the hurt. The gospel cleans the dirt.
My cousin used to boost kicks and dip through alleys. Now he leads food drives in the Brooklyn valleys. We all change, but scars stay like street signs, marking where we failed and rose in God's design. Seen preachers fall, seen gangsters rise, but the truth sits quiet behind most eyes. I ain't holy, I'm human, built from lost in hymns with a vinyl heart and cassette tape sins. Each bar is a sermon in concrete verse. Still praying for the homies in that iron church. Told them life ain't a gamble when you learn the math. Subtract the hate and multiply the path.
Gold teeth from rotten words. High schools mean to good. Found teeth don't hide the hurt, but gospel cleans the dirt. We were born to break the curse, singing truth, not just a verse.
The best way to disappear is to never exist in the first place.
Step 1, never use your name in ink. Alias stitched in the glitch that blink. Erase that face from the glass and grid. Villain move swift like sins never did. Step 2, unlearn the map they drew. Cities ain't streets, they traps in view. He walk with signal dies in small, where dogs don't bark and truth stay fog. Step 3, speak less, mask stay tight. Every word a weapon, every tone invite. Burn birth dates, kill the trail. Even ghosts know silence, don't fail. Step 4, cut all loops and logs. That watchtower tech got teeth like guards, so he carried his thoughts in ciphered flow, tucked in a notebook from years ago. Step 5, memories are leaked, so plug it. Cut ties clean, no cause, just snub it. Villain sip tea in the rain, no trace. Only thing left, that ink in space. Final rule, never seek applause. Disappear so deep, even deep hit pause. Legacy ain't loud, it hums and cold, like footprints made before roads are road.
To the well-organized mind, death is but the next great adventure.
You met him in an alley with a fedora dipped low. Breath cold as the ink in the villain's flow. Said, you ain't early, I just came prepared. Death chuckle, lit smoke and polluted air. Spare me the riddle, Varv grin through steel. Life's a bad bargain and death's the deal. Reaper said cute, most run up prey, but this one rhymes like he came to stay. Vaughn replied, I write where your shadow leans. Syllables sharper than guillotine dreams. You tally names, I scramble fate. They fear your grip, I annotate. You bleed in ink, I bleed in ends. You kill in silence, I kill with pens. I knock once, they bow low. I don't answer, I just flow. You spit with pride, but your clock still ticks. Every rhyme you drop just builds my bricks. Vaughn lean back, let the moment melt. Said, even you need stories felt. You feed on fear, I sell a cure. Where you bring absence, I'll make them pure. I speak in scars and alleyway codes, in chalk lines shaped like forgotten notes. Death grinned wide, ash fell from his sleeve. You stole well, but no one leaves. Even legends rot when the record fades. Var wrote bars in the air like blades. I ain't here to die, just to document. Your silence speaks, mine pays rent. So write me off, but before I'm ash, know I made kids laugh in a world this brash. I end the breath, I end the verse. What I gave a minds to rehearse. I own the void, I own the noise. Well.
Woke in the maze where the floorboards breathe. Truth wear chains while the liars leave. Dust in the lungs from the crawl-space silence. Ink in the page like a blueprint of violence. No face seen when the lockpick sings. Just one flash blink and the data clings. Gears don't grind, they whisper commands. Posts in the wall, blueprints in the sand. Crack in the glass shows a crack in the plan. He walked through wires like it's part of the land. No prayer works when the clock hand bends and the hallway warps at the story's end. Every word weighed, every sound's a cipher. Each echo trapped it in a glassy hyper. Hands don't shake and the mirror don't care. No echo returns from a hollow stare. Mouth stitched shut but the thoughts still how. He drew maps on the floor with a rusted trowel. The shadow moves but it never breathes. Don't blink, something's under the seams. Gloom in the grid, truth in the glitch. Eyes stay wide, shadows don't flinch. Slit in the veil where the memories loop. He saw smoke speak and the silence stoop. Cold ink bled like a bird with no cage. Wrote in the dark from a tear in the page. Steel don't feel when the nerves retract. Each cold crack just reveals more traps. Suit in the socket, blood in the latch. What looks like a door is a wormhole hatch. Pulse in the wires, faint tap in the drain. Rhyme carved slow like a script through pain. There's no applause when the ghosts applaud. Just static in the hall and a glitching guard. The flash don't boil, it waits and listens. Breath like a prayer in the echo's prison. No map, no myth, just rhythm and dread. And the voice that returns from the books unread. The shadow moves, but it never breathes. Don't blink, something's under the seams. Gloom in the grid, truth in the glitch. Eyes stay wide, shadows don't flinch.
Any fear if it follows every step? It's fact. And the shadow's still there, even when the light turns black.
Yo, red wire humming, black cord frayed. He maps escape routes where the shadows fade. Screwdriver tongue picks locks with verse. Heist so clean it ran time in reverse. Blueprint dust in his coat like ash. He ain't move fast, just move past the crash. Encrypted speech stitched inside a beat, where guards walk loops in a mental repeat. Palm print clone from a smudge on glass. He whispered through walls in a frequency class. No gun, no threat, just logic bent. Left the riddle in chalk at the scene is spent. They searched for proof, but the room just stared. The chair spun slow and two split hairs. All files white, replaced by rhyme. And the drawing of a 9 collapse in time. He moved through plans like smoke through light. One wrong blink and you lose the night. No trace, no tag, no breath, no rush. Just blueprints falling into layers of dust. Vent shaft breathing like a beast on mute. He slid through the pipes in a broken suit. Carved his name in a post and split. Wrote the address of truth in a counterfeit kit. No safe untouched, no camera alive. He jammed their system with a lullaby drive. Slipped past guards with a looped out grin. Replaced his image with violent skin. Tapes in his bag hung low with facts. Bars that rearrange memory tracks. He ain't want cash, he wanted design. The shape of a vault that reacts to rhyme. No footprints, just heat and air. A hallway echo in a flick of hair. The boss said freeze it, but it's too late. The villain took thought and reshaped fate.
man who has nothing to lose.
Clock hit 3, the breeze got tense. He mapped the floor plan by the camera lens. No steel gloves, just talk and breath. He sent one rhyme through the vents like death. Blue ink bled on a paper napkin. Came from the diner where the plot was hatching. Tapped in the systems with syllables bent. Each metaphor carved in the circuit sent. Hallway code, he moved like script. Wrote a new exit in the mainframe's crypt. No prints, no lights, no sign of entry. Just a scribble on the wall, verse 8 entry. Every step was a bar, each blink a delay. He ain't just robbed, he rewrote the day. Inside that locker, a black book hung with a code that could make whole governments dumb. He slipped through logic, slipped past fate. All for the key to the 8th locker gate. Vault of thought, mind unsealed, where myths were locked and truth concealed. He ain't come for gold, he came for the map, where the lies of the world were drawn in a trap. Skimmed past lasers with invisible ink, left behind dust that forced men to think. Clocks all froze, safes clicked open. He spoke in a code that the steel found broken. Hallways walked when he bent the rhyme, like physics itself just ran out of time. No alarms rang, no guards awake, just a verse in the air and a mental quake. He read from the book, just one line flat, and made satellites turn where the future sat. No fame chase, no criminal brag, just silence and footprints that spiral and drag. By dawn, all systems reset their fate, but the locker was gone and the world felt late. He slipped through logic, slipped past fate, all for the key to the 8th locker gate. Vault of thought, mind unsealed, where myths were locked and truth concealed. 8 years, so I'm trying to beat the cage like taste. Through the made child, ain't like your child lie, ain't like your child lie.
The meanest weapon in the hand of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed.
Villain move quiet through the scholarless zone, carving ancient scripts in a flip phone tone. School ain't safe, just a boot camp blur, so we fed him forbidden verse under old street slurs. Library burned, but his rhyme books breathe, tucked in a coat with a blade in the sleeve. Agents of silence try taping his thoughts, but he write with cipher and ghosts can't spot. Hood priest with a mind like Morse, sent poems and code through the police force. He saw brains cage while the chains looked free, so he cracked that spell with a villainous key. Snuck in the towers with graffiti chants, tagging math on walls in the dead man stance. They teach you to beg and forget your blade. He teaches to question the price you paid.
Thought is a weapon if you sharpen the edge. Truth ain't safe when it sleeps in your head. Villain, smuggle, versus through land. Thought is a weapon if you sharpen the edge. Truth ain't safe when it sleeps in your head. Villain, smuggle, versus through land.
Dress lies in a cap and gown, while the real ones rot in a downtown crown. He flipped bars like a lockpick's edge, and found dead gods in the school board pledge. Burned they test and rewrote the page. Now the villain teach law in a bulletproof cage. Chalkboard dreams with a trench coat breath. He scribe while they panic from what's left. He ain't preach, just encode and move like jazz in a cipher with no fake groove. Mind like a maze with a wiretap loop, so we spit in reverse, watch the whole world stoop. Enemy is static, outlaw fake. Mass scholar with a scalpel-shaped stake. He don't shoot, he scribble till systems bleed, and feed the kids books they outlawed in need.
Words get bent when the wires combust. He scribbled in fog and the fumes in the dust.
Y'all slip through the gate with a flick and a grin. Blueprints taped to the skin under skin. Echoes in jars kept truth on a leash. Voice so low, even silence don't speak. Flames in the hallway, books on the burner. Notes from the cold where the clocks don't turn up. Rain wrote scripture on the side of the train. He memorized paths in the cracks of the brain. Massgate metal, its meaning in folds. Kept time hostage in the canister of mold. Each line brittle, each hook been twisted. Verse like a trap that the world never listed. Fluorescent flicker in the lab, he slept. Dreams full of ink that the void had kept. Thread count low on the truth he stitched. Reality frayed when the rhyme got glitched.
Smoke in the shape of a man. Let us drift off the page. He don't talk loud, he cold in quotes. Syllables swim through the ink in the smoke.
Yeah, step from the basement with dust in his pulse. Carried a pen like a blade with a coat. Built out of moments that never got named. Each bar stitched from a long lost flame. Mirror said nothing but cracked at the edge. He rhymed like a monk with a switchblade pledge. Tongue like a locksmith, breath like a glitch. Reality flipped when the fuse got stitched. Pages don't lie, they just fold in the dark. He whispered the ghost through a graphite spark. Each vowel hangs in a noose of delay. Tape reels rewind, but the thoughts don't stay. Villain ain't human, just thoughts in decay. A myth in a coat made of yesterday's clay. Truth ain't found, it dissolves on the path. He wrote it in smoke, then he vanished in half. Smoke in the shape of a map. Smoke in the shape of a map. Let us drift off the page. He don't talk loud, he encoding quotes. Syllables swim through the smoke. Went through the ink in the smoke. They asked where he went, but he was never seen. Only heard through static and a smudge.
Built bars from ash, made math from rust. He mapped out the void with blueprints and dust. Fucking mad at the dust. Tap the drum like a lock on a vault. Each bar coded, no default salt. Truth don't echo in the room, don't care. So we rap to the mold in the midnight air. Eyes like graph paper, mind like a glitch. Slid through a cipher with a match and a stitch. Letters in the fog, footsteps in chalk. He walked like a riddle that the wise couldn't talk. Rust in the meter, mold on the fader. Came from a cellar with a notebook of data. Rhymes don't punch, they crawl through cracks. Past floorboards, walk with a silent stacks. Name ain't known, but the voice been felt in the seams of the dreams that the street once dealt. Scribbled in code, kept quiet in tone. Laid verses like bones in the tape decks home.
Look the blue,
Loaded blocks in your image, friend.
with the pattern for me.
Filling left lines where the time don't stop. You don't find truth, it's what you rethink. Click clack cadence from a lab in a tomb. Voice stitched tight like a matchstick broom. Burned every map once the rhyme was carved. Spoke in distortion like a tape that starved. No fingerprints, just prints of sound. Each echo a ghost that the vinyl drowned. No hooks for the crowd, no flash in the flame. Just a mask in the pen and a glitch in the frame. He ain't rap, he an echo in the flood. A clock with no hands in a room full of mud. Pages don't flip, they twitch in the mist. He wrote this bar with a phantom's fist. One mic, two wires, no need for gold. Just notebooks wrapped in secrets untold. Rhymes don't rhyme, they reveal or combust. Found a future drawn in blueprints and dust.
Pen is mightier than the sword when it's in the right hand.
Pen sat calm on a notepad edge. Pistol tucked warm by the alleyway ledge. One spoke scriptures in a silent storm. The other drew blood where the cold winds swarm. Pistol barked, ain't no peace in mind. I end debates in a tenth of time. Pen just smirked, dipped back in ink. Said you kill fast, but you die in state. Page flipped slow as the trigger got teased. Each wrote fate in the way they squeeze. Ink bled codes from forgotten scrolls. Iron spit shells through corrupted souls. Both born broke, raised in the grime. Same street roots, but different climb. Pen wrote laws, revolts and chants. Pistol wrote names on tombstone grants.
This ain't about peace, it's who rewrites the streets. But murderers don't last. The iron silence, a riot. One leaves scars, the other leaves science. Ice ain't cash, it's control of the spine. He broke in smooth through a vault in the mind.
Yo,
Black gloves on thoughts, he slipped through cortex. Mapped out the nerves like a train line vortex. No mask needed, just a tone and phrase. Hypnotized the vault with a spiral of haze. Speech encrypted, tongue like flint. Set fire to the codes with a metaphor glint. Guards on shift, just neurons flicker. He bent the signal till the memories bickered. Walked through dreams with a hacker's grace. Etched new blueprints in a cortex space. He ain't picked locks, he remixed time. Each rhyme a tool from the villainous shrine. Files in his coat, thoughts in his hood. Left the vault shaking, but everything looked good. They woke up blinking, thought it was a nap, but their secrets now live on a dusty tape rack. He crept in silence, rewrote the scheme. Vaults in the mind where he planted a dream. No wounds, no proof, no digital trail. He stole the whole truth through a mental veil. 1 second there, next flicker gone. The mask just floated like dusk at dawn. No keys, no breach, just patterns bent. He left through a synapse exit vent. All for a scroll with a name erased. A list of sins and no lace. Not for money, not for gold or stash, but to balance the past like a line of math. Caught by a whisper in the vending hum. A flicker in the thought where the memories numb. Now they search the footage, all eyes wide, but he moved through belief, can't catch that stride. No bounty hunters, no cops, just fingerprints smeared in a rhyme that stops. He's gone with the data, cloak in the breeze. A verse in the wires, a cough in the freeze. He crept in silence, rewrote the scheme. Thoughts in the mind where he planted the dream. No wounds, no proof, no digital trail. He stole the whole truth through a mental veil.
Mask low, voice cold, cooked in a flash. Villain, stepping, turn truth in a task.
Slide through smoke like a thief in a thesis. Each line etched like a glyph on a priest's wrist. Clockwork, mind gears grind in the basement. Spit like a glitch in the government placement. No cape, just crates full of vinyl and venom. Villain plot verses with vermin momentum. Chalkboard bars, formulas and margins. Wordplay warp like time in the gardens. Steam from the beaker, fumes form a cipher. Ink bleeds slow like scripts from a lifer. Tongue twist language, spit cold calculus. Truth ain't clean, it's cracked and ravenous. Heist in the booth, no mask for the fame. Just lab coat logic and wires to the brain. City lights flicker, but he move like static. Speech sound coded, villainmatic. Villain, this what that I grab. Truth in the task, mask in the mist. Burst like a vial when the needle twists.
Stranger with the flash.
Words burn slow, got knowledge to amass. Found in the cracks of forgotten cassette decks. Rhymes so rare it dissolve in the next text. Blueprint feed draft with a whisper. Bars so cold make the mic get a blister. No limelight, just the glow of the Bunsen. Script from the gut, let the realness function. Villain ain't rap, he a cipher equation. Walk through dimensions just off a cadence. Skull full of stanzas, heart of a hacker. Taught by monks with drums and a dagger. Every verse like a code to dismantle. Speakers, symbols, sparks from the mantle. Never no gimmick, just gears and precision. Mirror to the void, spitting pure indecision. Out the shadows with a flask and a flask. Villain in the cut, truth in the task.
He ain't sneaking, he rewrote the locks. Typed out the codes in invisible chalk.
Slipped through the firewall, wrote through the floor. Rewired the guard dog strings with folklore. No gloves, no print, just breath and static. He drew the blueprint in a room all padded. Cameras blinked, caught a frame with no face. He walked in steps that erased their place. Key card clone from a napkin's crease. He pulled the whole vault from beneath their piece. No safe crack click, no glass to shatter. He just hung to the wires till the locks got flatter. Sat at the desk, poured tea from steam. Downloaded the files through a rhyme and a scheme. Exit route drawn in a ghost old cough. He floated past lasers like lines burned off. No sirens, no chase, just codes and ropes. Then he vanished mid-step like a carbon ghost.
They never saw him come. They never saw him leave. He ain't steal gold, he stole belief. Carbon copy ghost, no name, no brief. The rhyme was the key. The lock was a beat.
safe wide open, but nothing looks touched, just a hum in the air and a clock gone rush. They found one page, blank but dense. When held to the light, it whispered intense. They called it a breach, but no one knew how. The footage showed static, shaped like a brow. Boss said freeze it, text said nah. It's not a hack, it's a kind of law. Next day came and the vault still breathed. They played back audio, just rust and leaves. No fingerprints, just a pencil's curl with a line that read, "This ain't your world." Back in the van, he erased the tape, tossed out the loot for a landscape scrape. He ain't want diamonds, he ain't want fame. He wanted the myth to remember his name.
Those who do not move do not notice their chains.
He ain't robbed banks, he robbed belief. Took the crown off kings with a stanza of grief. Blueprint breathing, chalk line mind state. Slid past time with a rhyme that dilates. Flick of the wrist, wrote code on bricks. Each word hit harder than 100 clicks. Unlocked myths in the archives tomb. Made truth detonate in a concrete room. Snuck through books that were never assigned. Ripped out pages and replaced them with lines. Voice like sand, footprints erased. But he mapped revolution in a poet's case. They studied the footage, saw nothing but blur. Just a shadow with rhythm and a sepia stir. Left the scene with a smirk in the air and a verse that burned through billionaire prayer. And vanished through ash with a chant in the air. So we stole it clean through the firewall veil. Room full of scholars, eyes wide shut. He crept in quiet with a blade in the gut. Not literal steel, but a sharpened phrase that split the system like fault lines blaze. Rewired the myths with a villainous pen. Turned law into dust, turned gods into men. The mic was a scalpel, verse was flame. Erased their flag, reprinted his name. Tapes rewind in a loop he set. Each beat a trap they haven't sprung yet. He ain't need keys, passwords, or codes. Just a pause and silence, the knowledge explodes. They don't know how, don't know when, but they feel the glitch like a fault in Zen. By the time they wake, the facts feel strange. Everything shifted, but nothing changed.
In a time of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act.
Walk through a borough where the sky don't blink, where the smoke write letters that the wise folks ink. Villain ain't speak, he just carved in signs. Through sidewalk cracks and collapsing minds. City full of ghosts in a glass green glow. Trapped in loops where the ads don't slow. He moved like static through the newscast glitch. Mash too calm for a snitch to twitch. Billboards lie and design a tone. Same voices sell peace, push a military drone. He decode truth in the trash can fire while they scroll past death like a sitcom flyer. Mike in the trench coat, notebook and flame. He tag walls with sermons, they too numb the name. Ain't no savior, just a myth in boots. With a verse like a crowbar cracking their roots.
City talkers, I speak on but instead of cold, right the cold, let me right the bone. Smoke rises high, watch the system fold.
Yeah, smokestack prayers and asphalt guilt. Truth buried deep in the slot where they tilt. He ducked fake drones, slid past drones, and mailed 10 bars from a payphone's bones. News got filters, but pain leaks through, so we ink old wounds with a villainous hue. Subway prophets hum beats in veins, while the train write poems on the window panes. City don't sleep, it just stares and schemes, flooding your dreams with monetized themes. He kept one eye on the blueprint cracks, other eye blind but still saw facts. Wrote for the corner kids dodging fate, not the stage fake wolves in the suit and hate. No hook, no chorus, no fame parade, just smoke in the silence that truth invades.
When I speak in code, there is no one, we rewrite the mold. When we rewrite the mold, the smoke rises high, watch the system fold.
stage left, lights flicker with grime. Got a clock full of poison in the pocket of time. The script ain't safe, I improv and hex. Bars leave holes in the beat like tape decks. Wreck villain in the rafters, cape stitched in ether. Taught your favorite rapper through an intercom speaker. Syllables slap like unpaid debt. Each verse a trapeze with no safety net. Y'all bark loud, but it's circus noise. I cut through the tent with a voice that voids. Line cook chemistry, stove stay bent. Cooking up bars in a lab where the rent ain't spent. Drip ink on contracts, vanish my trail. Talk slick, get wrapped like VHS mail. Crowd throw rows, I dodge and jest. Then autograph shadows on your cardiac vest.
Ladies and gentlemen, beware the masked performer. He does not entertain, he dismantles.
It's the phantom playwright, ghost of the grit. Break laws of physics when I flex one skit. My rhyme book breathe, got lungs and teeth. Sharp enough to sign deals in a villainous reef. Slide through scripts with a fountain pen saber. Each loop chopped like it owed me a favor. Stage ain't wood, it's a trap door built. And I exit through cracks in the guilt you spilt. Off-brand profit, forged in myth. Fed punchlines through a mercury synth. Gotta laugh like a villain in a B-movie clip. But the punch leaves dents in your ego's lip. Shadows my audience, gloom my merch. Mic stand curved like a preacher in church. Recite like rights from a crypt I rent. And spit with the vengeance of lost cement.
Final scene, mask and tech. Curtain falls, but I never come back. Alive, melancholy solo piano fades in. Keys play like raindrops falling in abandoned theater. Minor jazz chords echo slowly like memories sinking in velvet shadows. No drums, no words, just the villain's ghost playing to an empty room.
No spotlight, just a bulb that buzzes. One mic, one coat, and a list of grudges. He wrote rhymes in the steam on glass, disappearing slow like a ghost in brass. Ain't no encore when the mask falls silent, just ash in the booth and a hum that's violent. Scripts torn up, chalk lines erased. They searched for the villain but forgot his face. He spoke in codes, left bars in caves. Every track engraved like a tomb of waves. The ink bled soft through the static and flame, but none could decode what he carved in shame. A flick of the pen, then poof, no trace. Like fog in a flask or sin in space. Not fame, not fear, just vanish and drift. A final loop stuck in a final lift.
The pen don't lie, only the hand that fears the page. Truth ain't loud, it hums quiet as a cage.
Hand-stitched scriptures on linen paper. Ink bleeds truth like a midnight taper. Scribbles and margins, secrets from sages. Drew halos round words in these wisdom cages. No crown, just the hood and a chipped tooth. Still spit parables smoother than silk proof. Call it a song, but it's just a sigh from a man who watches the stars ask why. No riches, no fame, no velvet ropes. Just worn notebooks and invisible hopes. Feelings flicker like candles in back rooms, and I write them down till they bloom in the monsoons.
These are my handwritten songs. Ink stained tears in the quietest calm. Pages fold where the soul belongs. I breathe in pain, I breathe out songs.
12 bars carved in mahogany hearts. Each beat a cathedral where silence starts. Callous hands from the weight of the past. Still I turn pain into poems that last. Ain't no prophet in a polished lie, just prophets who whisper and testify. This ain't rap, it's a barefoot hymn, written in the dust when the light grows dim. For every uncle who spoke in metaphor, and every auntie who danced through a closing door, I rhyme to remember, not to perform, and write like thunder hiding in a quiet storm.
These are my handwritten songs. Ink stained tears in the quietest calm. Pages fold where the soul belongs. I breathe in pain, I breathe out songs.
Life ain't a straight line, it's patches, stitches, memory scraps. Every scar's a thread in the quilt on your back.
My story sewn in corduroy and cotton tears. Scraps of silence stitched from forgotten years. A patch of grief, a square of pride. That time auntie wept but never cried. Each corner folded like tucked in fears, but I wear them like armor through the folding years. Mama's Sunday hymns and corded seams. Papa's hard hands and broken dreams. It ain't always pretty, but it keeps me warm. Through heartbreak, rain, and identity storms. This quilt ain't a metaphor, it's a skin I wrap around my soul when the cold creeps in.
Piece by piece, we hold ourselves tight. Threaded by love, sewn back with light. Memories fade, but we still don't will. We live, we love inside the
Wore my grandma's laughter like a linen hood, passed down with a prayer and a splinter of wood. That quilt ain't just fabric, it's proof of time. Woven in silence, soaked in rhyme. Uncle stitched jazz in the border's edge. Cousin tied knots near the preacher's ledge. Each patch got a secret, each thread a vow. What don't get spoken still gets passed down. Stained with ink from my younger days. Notes from the soul, not a chart of phrase. Truth ain't tailored, it unravels slow, but you learn where it fits as your stitches grow.
piece by piece, we hold ourselves tight. Threaded by love, sewn back with light. Memories fray, but we still don't will. We live, we love inside the quilt.
You can dodge questions, rewrite stories, but when you stand alone, the mirror knows all your glories and your ghosts.
Ain't no filter when I'm facing the glass, just me, my breath and a version that passed. Reflections ain't flattered, they cut like knives, holding court in the silence where the real survives. See my flaws like stains on a choir robe. Truth peeled back every mask I wove. I used to spit fire just to prove my flame. Now I stare in the mirror trying to learn my name. The light hits different when it ain't for show, and the eyes blink slow when the past says hello. No crowd to applaud, no room to pretend. Just a man in his shadow trying to make amends.
Mirrors don't lie, they just wait for the quiet, showing you truth when you stop the riot. No applause, no disguise, it's just soul in glass, no compromise.
Cold chrome surface, caught my grin slipping. Mask on the table, whole ego dripping. I see a king with a cardboard crown stacked high on delusion till the frame fell down. Ain't no mercy in the mirror stare. It'll show you the cracks you ain't even aware. From the pride I wore like Sunday suits to the fears I hid in empty flutes. Every smirk, every shrug, every slow decay, all preserved in the mirror's ballet. So I scribbled my flaws till the glass turned ink. Made peace with the man too scared to blink.
Mirrors don't lie, they just wait for the quiet, showing you truth when you start the riot. No applause, no disguise, just your soul in glass, no compromise.
Been caught, bend down slow. Teacher right, laces tight for the steps of light. Right goes right.
Knee on the carpet, tiny shoe in hand. My son looking up like he don't understand. Looping through, make a bunny ear. But I ain't just teaching, I'm drawing him near. These laces long like the road ahead. I tighten them slow so he treads with stead. Patience in the knot, love in the bow. Every tug I make is a seed I sow. Used to tie mine with a rush and dip. Now I pause, breathe deep with each little grip. He don't know yet, but this is the word. A sermon with no pulpit, just actions heard.
Shoelace sermons low and kind, wisdom whispered down the line. Not in books or loud debates, but in how a father calibrates.
Double knot lessons on a Tuesday morn. Teacher balance before the storm. He asked why 2 loops, I say so it stay. And that's life, little man, keep things that way. You hold what's good, then you pull with grace. Keep your feet firm, but give space. This ain't just laces, it's legacy tied. The kind that don't snap when the world gets wide. I don't preach, I prepare, slow and true. With a cloth in my pocket and one worn shoe. And when he runs, may he feel that thread of all I gave in the bows I spread.
Shoelace sermons low and kind, wisdom whispered down the line. Not in books or loud debates, but in how a father calibrates.
Some sermons ain't said, they're tied, they're fucking.
Solace, make me like.
Wash me down with quiet light, soap and solace, make me right.
Water run warm, dirt slide off slow. But it ain't just the grind that I let go. I scrubbed yesterday from under my nails, each lather like a truth that gently prevails. Mama used to hum while she cleaned the sink. Now I hum the same when I need to think. I scrubbed yesterday from under my nails, each lather like a truth that gently prevails. Mama used to hum while she cleaned the sink. Now I hum the same when I need to think. It ain't just soap, it's a sacred pause where the day resets without applause. Forgiveness foamed up in the lavender scent. Rinse down shame, let compassion vent. Some folks chase clarity on mountaintops. Me, I find mine in the faucet drops.
Soap and solace, wash me free. Let the water know what I used to be. Clean my hands, clean my view. Leave behind what ain't true.
Bar by the tub, towel hanging loose. Steam on the glass like a holy truce. Ain't no sermon, just suds and breath. Still feel sacred like I outran death. Taught myself grace with a cotton cloth. Wrung it out slow, wiped every loss. Some days I scrub till the doubts fall clean like stains of the past in a deeper sheen. This ain't about dirt, it's the weight I drop. This water don't judge, just tells me to stop and start again. Each rinse a vow to be softer tomorrow than I was just now.
Soap and solace, wash me free. Let the water know what I used to be. Clean my hands, clean my view. Leave behind what ain't true.
Summertime, scrapping me those cars with the sunrise. Sometimes you gotta be your own lamb in the bar.
Walking blind through thoughts, thick as smoke. Every breath a riddle, every truth a cloak. Got doubts like wolves steady creeping in packs, while I try to light matches on memories' backs. The mask ain't for show, it's to see through lies. In a world where even mirrors wear disguise. Moss on the path, mud on the tongue, but I still spit gold from a soul unsung. No map, no signs, just instinct and flame. And the scribbled affirmations that whisper my name. Fog don't lift when you beg it to move. You just learn to dance in a dim, fine groove.
I carry my light when the road goes dark. A flicker of truth in a world so stark. No one to guide me, no righteous star. Just me and my lantern in the fall.
The fog rolls in like grief on mute, fit with what ifs. Truth in dispute. My shadow walks slower when fears awake, so I hold my flame steady for my own sake. Can't borrow vision, can't rent resolve. Gotta earn every answer the dusk involves. These hills no secrets the sun don't see, so I trust in the silence that walks with me. Each step is a vow, each pause a prayer. And the dark ain't cruel, it's just unaware. So I write my name in the breath of mist. A poet with a lamp in a half-clenched fist.
I carry my light when the road goes dark. A flicker of truth in a world so stark. No one to guide me, no righteous star. Just me and my lantern in the fog. No compass but calm, no stars in the sky. Still I want more weight, that's why.
Some memories ain't memories. They just as thirst we remember how to breathe.
Lucid dust on the bookshelf float. Rewind dreams in a corduroy coat. No map to the mind, just scent and sound. Like citrus in June or the rain on brown. I saw a ghost in a shoebox grin. Old cassette tapes where the truth begins. Every lyric was a window left cracked, and every thought was a color that faded to black. Now I write in fog, no lines to trace. Just echoes of a younger me stuck in space. Thoughts like smoke can't clutch or keep, but it lingers on jackets and talks and sleep.
Drifting through the lucid dust, where memory sleeps and turns unjust. Close your eyes, let the silence rest. We're made of dreams and forgotten trust.
Got chalk in my lungs from erased old days, left fingerprints in forgotten hallways. Sometimes I breathe and it tastes like past, like graphite sketches that didn't quite last. There's truth in the blur, in the bend, in the fade, in the attic of the mind where the real gets made. Photos peeled at the edge still hold heat, like vinyl left near the window seat. I chase shadows not for answers but scent, to relive a second I never quite spent. No need to rewind or fast forward the trust. Everything I need's in the lucid dust.
Drifting through the lucid dust, where memories sleep. Close your eyes, let the silence rust. We're made of dreams and forgotten trust.
What we forget ain't gone, just waits beneath the song.
I ain't learned from lectures. I learned from the way my uncle tied his shoes. Tight, quiet, like to strip you any second.
I was baptized in basements, no cues in sight. Treat you late sermons in the flick of late like chalk. All the true to start, two crackles in the grand. The grass keep the corks when the tackle stay paused. And ban of thought lessons, my hound traded the tracks before getting starts. Mom raising that cactus, 100 grease, mama gone and bean. Pot of blame, better lax, business carvet. Ganja head, business bronze, and macabre pains. On and you same back there. Call sit G, dash for no games, and lot money's phone cheese for the pay dead. Spawn a day, there must have been. The queen, no team, the mashi on when I fret. My jewels, it's got more in the sheets and your lecture.
Laces and lacing the creases that never go away. No rolls, no rings, just wisdom and jeans. These are the sermons from everyday scenes.
Old soul with a gum-stuck soul. Learn more from a shoelace than an honor roll scroll. Gramps tied his kicks with a crooked grin. Says, son, the world ain't fair, start within. He ain't writing no books, but he's spoken steps with scuffed up rhythm and unpaid debts. The tongue of his boots held more than style. Held pain, held peace, held walking miles. No cathedral glass, just a screen door creak, where truth got whispered 7 days a week. So I lay slow, like a man with scars, or the Zay's far, each knot for the star.
Lessons in the laces, stories in the fold, truth in the creases that never got tamed. No robes, no rings, just wisdom and jeans. These are the sermons from everyday scenes.
Not all teachers wear ties. Some just walk steady and tie their shoes tight.
Silence ain't empty, it's a canvas. And in every feeling you name is just a brush stroke waiting.
I paint the silence with charcoal tones, with memories that echo like dial tones. A muted truth sits beneath the hum, where the words don't reach but the colors come. A brush in my chest, palette in my breath. I color grief soft and I sketch out death. Joy drips slow from the edge of thought, and stillness reveals what the noise forgot. I seen pain with a halo and love in disguise. Felt hope bloom quiet beneath shut eyes. No applause, no beat, just a hush I trust, when my pen dips deep in the honest dust.
I paint the silence in shades unseen, with strokes of sorrow and bursts of green, where words fall short and echoes bend. I find my voice with no need to pretend.
Mask off in a room with no sound, just thoughts pirouetting in loops unbound. I trace peace in the corners of dust, in the hush of a page, in the breath of trust. A canvas ain't loud, it listens back, and every blank space fills with language lacks. I ain't got a rhyme to be heard tonight, just scribble in the dark with a flick of light. No need for beats when the stillness thumps. Paint drips rhythm through emotional lumps. So I sit with the silence, paint it slow, make meaning move where words won't go.
I paint the silence in shades unseen, with strokes of sorrow and bursts of green, where words fall short
when I had no words left. The silence gave me color, and I made peace with what I couldn't utter.
I ain't come from riches. I came from grooves, came from sleeves cracked, jackets torn, bass like warm.
I was born between needle drops and dusty shells, where Donnie cried truth and Curtis healed selves. No lullabies, just vinyl rotation. 45 spinning like deep meditation. Pops ain't preach, he just let records play. And I learned more from Marvin in my 5th grade day. Sly taught rebellion, Aretha gave grace. Coltrane whispered secrets to my baby face. These stacks weren't just wax, they were blood and bond. A soundscape sanctuary where the soul responds. So every bar I spit got that needle hiss, like the ghost of a saxophone kiss. I'm the son of a record stack, raised on rhythm, dressed in wax. Truth in the grooves, peace in the track. Every scratch taught me how to come back. My uncle had crates like a high-rise tail. Every side B like a breadcrumb trail. Jazz in the hallway, soul in the fridge. Beats in the basement beneath the bridge. I slept on pillows made of sleeve notes and bass. Learned to loop time without leaving the place. Chopped my first rhyme over Nina's cry. Masked my pain under Bill Withers' sky. Didn't need school, had Isaac Hayes and Gil Scott-Heron taught me phrase by phrase. Now I sample the past with a mindful touch. Every drum breaks a lesson, every scratch a hush. I'm the son of a record stack, raised on rhythm, dressed in wax. Truth in the grooves, peace in the track. Every scratch taught me how to come back.
But I had sound that knocked the goal, round.
They don't write like this no more. Ink don't fade, it just settles into the soul.
Found a box in the attic with your cursive lean. Smelled like jasmine and kerosene. Letters tied with ribbon and quiet ache. Each page a ghost, I was scared awake. You wrote of hope, of hurt to spring, of how life moved like a violin string. And I felt you between every line you crossed. The pause is more honest than the words you lost. You never said goodbye, just see you then. Signed with a heart and a fountain pen. Now I read you slow like a sacred hymn, with time on the paper and tears at the brim. Faded letters still hold fire, burning gentle with quiet desire. Words may fade but they don't forget. Love lives long in the lines we've met. Sepia stains on a folded truth, written by candlelight and olden youth. No email, no text, just ink and breath. Each syllable slow, like steps near death. I held your thoughts like a photograph bleeds. Margins curled up like autumn leaves. Some words cracked from the weight of time, but your silence still rhymed better than mine. Every smudge, every tear-shaped dot felt like a sentence the world forgot. I ain't write back, but I memorized pain. Now your voice lives in this ballpoint rain.
Before you forget, let the river speak. The water remembers what the silence keeps.
The water don't talk, but it knows your name. Reflects your truth with no need for fame. I walk by creeks where my father stood, skipping stones of regret through misunderstood. Each ripple a memory, a time-stamped tear, stretching in silence through yesteryear. Rain hit the roof like an old drum line, playing secrets he never told in time. I see myself in puddles of tidal dreams, with thoughts unfold in the in-between. No preacher, no choir, no stained glass cries, just waves that hum lullabies to the skies.
The water remembers even when we don't. Carries the weight that the body won't. It sings in hush, it moves in grace, holds every name we try to erase.
Drip, drop scripture, baptized thought, tales in the tide from the pain I fought. Rain hit the mask, ran slow down a cheek, each drop a voice too tired to speak. Stream flow smoother than vinyl fade, wrote rhymes by rivers when my past was laid. A whisper in the current from a lover gone. The flood never lied, it just moved on. Water got no walls, no time, no shape, but it echoes regrets we can't escape. I stood by the edge with a verse half said, and the water hummed back what I left for dead.
The water remembers even when we don't. Carries the weight that the body won't. It sings in hush, it moves in grace, holds every name we try to erase.
Close your eyes, can you feel it hum? Stillness ain't empty, it's where truth comes from.
I used to fear the quiet, thought it meant I was lost, but silence taught lessons the noise couldn't emboss. Stillness ain't dead, it breathes slow and deep. It's the moment between when you sow and reap, like grandma's pause before she speaks your name, or the breath you hold before shifting blame. I sat in the dark, no beat, no pen, and found whole verses waiting within. Not every bar gotta come with a bang, some truths just hang like a choir sang. In that hush, I heard my past unfold, softest sound but the loudest told.
Stillness ain't empty, it's where I begin. A chamber of echoes beneath my skin. No need to shout when the soul can sing. In the quiet I find everything.
I meditate in the crack of dawn's yawn, where thoughts creep slow like a shoeless pawn. Still ain't still if your mind don't rest, so I taught my shadows how to undress. Ain't afraid of the mute, that's where I write blueprints for peace with no need for light. No claps, no crowd, just a pulse of now. The breath of a monk in a cornered vow. Stillness ain't absence, it's presence reversed. A verse with no words, a blessing unversed. Even the mask got moments it lays to hear what the wind in the silence says.
Stillness ain't empty, it's where I begin. A chamber of echoes beneath my skin. No need to shout when the soul can sing. In the quiet I find everything.
Speak what you need, even if it shakes. The mirror don't judge, it listens then breathes.
Look dead in the glass, saw fear blink first, so I whispered a prayer, unrehearsed. Said, I am not my wounds, I'm the breath between. I ain't what I've lost, I'm the grace unseen. Repeat it slow like a tide in my chest, a mantra I mouth when I can't find rest. I am not the silence I swallowed whole, I'm the voice that returned when I lost control. 1,000 cracks in the glass, still I stare, each one like a path through the fractured air. Don't need a preacher, just eye contact with the soul in the mirror that's fighting back.
Mirror, mirror, don't lie to me. Say what I need, not what I see. I speak my name till it feels like mine.
Daily dose of reflection, mask to mask, while I question my purpose, flash to flash. Ain't no vanity in the glance I give. It's survival, reminding myself to live. I in the quiet before the scream, the ink in the in-between of dream. Mantra murmured in Morse and smoke. In the mirror fog, by the words I choke. I trace letters in steam with a hopeful hand, writing my worth where the ghost still stand. Truth don't rhyme, but it resonates clean when you chant to the glass and it answers unseen.
Mirror, mirror, don't lie to me. Say what I need, not what I see. I speak my name till it feels like mine. A mantra in the glass outside of time. Cause sometimes the echo is all that believes you.
Don't go cold, but what if you're made of windows?
We was born in rooms with transparent walls, where pain echoes louder than the curtain calls. Every smile brittle, every laugh on edge. Living in a house made of silence and wedge. Truth walks light when the floors might shatter, and love speaks soft cause the echoes scatter. I seen reflections crack in a mother's stare, and stitch my pride from the shards left there. No secret, just glass cut clean and cold, where emotions fog up what we try to hold. I write on walls with the ink of restraint. These rhymes don't flex, they confess and faint.
In this house of glass I whisper low, cause the walls remember every blow. Echo don't lie, it just reflects what we try to hide with side effects.
Every echo's a loop of the things we feared, a symphony of doubts and chandeliers. I walk with a hush and a poet's grace, so I don't fracture the ghost in the space. No bricks, no stone, just panes and frames, where guilt paints portraits and no one blames. I built a home from things unsaid, hung silence like curtains above the bed. Sometimes it's safer to watch than speak, in a place where the walls get thinner each week. But I leave a mark in the breath I loan, a verse etched gently in tempered tone.
Voices in the crack where the curve meets the sun. Truth only whispered.
On the corner stands Malik with his coat full of dreams, selling futures in white caps and gasoline schemes. He's speaking riddles, say the city bleed its own, preaching hope in the gutter till his pockets get sewn. Old lady Mona hawk incense and holy cars, tells you sins on your breath, cheap tarot and boulevards. She got eyes like streetlights, sees your soul's reef, says repent on the pavement, go and bury your grief. Kids gather round like moths to a flame, but the lessons she teach feel like echoes of pain. Prophets are hustlers, sometimes hard to tell when salvation costs a dime and the sirens still yell.
Curbside prophets preaching the dust. Souls for sale where the fake turn to rust.
Then his big tone with his sermon of smoke, crack vows and whispers that the saints revoke. You say the block got scripture written in chalk, and the rats gon' read every line before they bark. Miss Rita on the stoop with a gospel in cans, handing out tracks with a bulletproof plan. She pray for the lost, but her eyes know the cost of a heaven that waits while our homies get crossed. The street preacher's mic got a hiss in his chord, soundtrack to sorrow and the lies they afford. I scribble these sermons with a bic and a grin, trying to find faith where the devil in.
Hearts on pavement, broken and bruised. Curbside prophets speak what we choose.
I met a young blood mumbling prophecies low, eyes full of visions only hood could know. Said every corner's a church if you listen close, and every preacher here got a secret to disclose. He wore his pain like a crucifix chain, spoke of redemption through the sound of his pain. But redemption here come with a side of regret. Sermons taste bitter when the soul's in debt. Still I lean on the rail, let the verse carve the truth, trying to baptize my heart in the wells of my youth. Even broken prophets got a message to send, if you brave enough to read between the curse and the wind.
Trust in the echoes of words unkind. Curbside prophets know. the church doors close? Where do prayers go when the dice still roll?
At the altar of the felt, he tossed his last breath. Deuce, deuce in his sock, cross stitch on his chest. The usher took wages, the preacher rolled dice. 7 come 11, he prayed over ice. Saints in the shadow sang backdoor sins. Bookie wrote scriptures in ballpoint pens. Thou shalt not bluff, carved into the pew. But the rake took souls like the devil made glue. He bet on the weather, on birds in the sky, on whether his girl told the truth or a lie. Every page in his hymn book soaked in gin, with names crossed out where the verses begin.
Folded his hands, prayed over chips died broke. Dealer flip fade, and the choir went ghost.
Dice kissed the floor like communion bread, while the ace of spades bled what the prophet said. Heard a rumor that the angel was fixing the spread. Heard the tenor lost his tongue when he lost his cred. And the bishop been chopping up parlays in silence on a chalkboard nailed to a wall of violence. Holy water dripped on a busted slop reel. Choir boys cussing with their mouths full of steel. His hymnal had odds in the margins and tabs. Every prayer he knew ended under toe tags. The hooker lit incense, made a Odette's lips, her hips hum numbers. He traced on his lips, there's a song for the hustler, a proverb for pain, but Ecclesiastes never bet on rain.
Folded his hands, prayed over chips died broke. Dealer flip fade, and the choir went ghost.
A man once bet his name on a deck half shaved, lost it to a grin with a jaw unshaved. Now he walked like a shadow through backroom smoke, with a hymn in his coat and a vow never spoke. They baptized bills in a mason jar and tithe 10% to the man behind the bar. Confession cost tokens, forgiveness a fee. You ain't clean till you fold and let your sins bleed free. The usher counted bullets like bingo beads. Every amen came with a pocket of needs. And when he died, they said he never did kneel, but he wrote his own gospel in unpaid deals.
Folded his hands, prayed over chips died broke. Dealer flip fade, and the choir went ghost. He walked out slow, past the chalk outline, with a song in his pocket and reflection time.
Blackboard crime scene lessons in chalk. I wrote the verdict in the lines they stalk. Classroom silence, the bell don't ring, just the sound of a gavel over broken wings. I ain't preach, I whispered the blues in rhyme slick shoes and courtroom news. Wrote my gospel on a judge's torn robe, folded it up and buried the code. Some say I vanished like guilt and prayer. Nah, I just loot grief and breathe in snare. Primo cut deeper than a crooked DA. Spun halos on beats and testified grace. So I walk like a sinner with saintly breath. Mask on, but the mic still flirts with death.
Chalk dust and gospel flow. Here are the names they'll never know.
Ain't no jury when the tapes go blank, just static and a ghost in the playback tank. Each verse I left was a hush in court, a prayer unsaid and a line they fought. I wore guilt like a Sunday suit, but flipped it inside out and passed the loot. No congregation, just vinyl pews, where silence testifies and a snare accused. Primo on the scratch like a priest with sins. Bless the wax with needles and spins. I ain't the villain, I'm the echo they fear, the voice in the evidence they never hear. So light that candle, dim those facts, and let this rhyme walk the final tracks.
Chalk dust and gospel flow. Truth don't rhyme, it just won't go. No cost and lost control. No line, it just won't go. She wrote love like smoke on a borrowed page. Truth in italics and murder in vain.
She tight with gloves on, lace torn at the wrist. Keys click like bones, each letter a fist. Lipstick prints on the letterhead's edge. Perfume ghost rising off government pledge. Work the obus with a curve and a cough. 5 lives down in the silence, smooth and soft. Every comma bled like a wedding vow crack. She write death sweet, wrap it up in a fact. Told stories and ransom notes, truth in disguise, and stitch secret codes in between the lies. Old Remington humming like a prayer machine. Mascara smudge where the margins lean. She knew who got clipped and who signed the check, whose grave was a typo's guilt got wrecked.
She wrote forever like a forgery's curse. One line for God, one line to serve. She don't command like forgery's curse.
She filed under fiction, but truth knew a scent. Typed up hits like they paid her rent. She had files on judges, clerks, and goons. Footnotes buried like bullets in saloons. Met a priest who confessed on carbon sheet. She redacted the guilt, kept the shame discreet. Backspace bled, spacebar jam. Ribbon ink darker than the blood she damned. Her eyes read headlines, no paper dared. And a coffee cup held secrets she shared. Each page curled like a cigarette sigh. The letters cried smoke as the ribbon ran dry. She kissed every story before was born and signed it anonymous, scorned and sworn.
She wrote forever like a forgery's curse. One line for God, one line to serve. She wrote forever, that's forgery's curse. One line for God, one line to serve.
Her final draft was an epitaph folded. Typed the name once, then the ribbon molded. The typewriter wept, keys stuck in prayers. If God tried to edit, but no soul was there. A stray bullet rested on the carriage bar. She typed the end, then lit a last cigar. The smoke curled up through the window pane. His shadows clapped softly like light rain. No eulogy, no ink in the well, just mascara trails and a deadline smell. The story lived on in the rusted spool where the ribbon ran out like a Catholic school rule.
She wrote forever like a forgery's curse. One line for God, one line to serve.
She never signed her real name, just initials and a smudge of rain.
I ain't seen her in years, but I still sit by the same window. The cup's always half full, the chair across stays empty. Yeah, she ordered silence with cream, stirred it real slow. Left lipstick on rim like a red ghost in snow. Books on her lap, old poems on her mind. She quote Neruda like wine, aged over time. I watch the rain write letters on the glass. Each drop a name, each second to pass. She never looked back when she left that zone. Just to scribble goodbye and note that red tone.
I'm on the table, a name I still recall. Love came dressed in silence, then walked out through the fall.
Stayed in that cafe like some lost refrain where sugar never melts and love don't explain. The waiter don't ask, he just brings a cup too. We drink to ghosts in corner view. The world grew loud with this booth stay still, with a typewriter heart and a jazz man's will. I light candles for her in this dim lit place. In the pause between verses I still see her face.
There's a poem on the table, a name I still recall. Love came dressed in silence, then walked out through the fall.
Fairy tales die with a black top breeze. Truth wears scars and a blade up his sleeve.
I grew up where fists roll scripture in his skin, where bedtime stories had murder tucked in. The wolf wore Timbs and the prince sold rock, and the witch drove a cutlass with the seats unlocked. Ain't no dragons, just fiends with a thirst for glass, and towers made of tenements and bulletproof glass. My crown was a Mets cap, blood on the brim, and my scepter just a bick with a busted stem. Seen Goldilocks squatting in an abandoned flat, told the bears she ain't leaving till they pay her back. 3 pigs in the alley with a drum full of steel. No straw, no bricks, just powder and pills. Truth got teeth in this bedtime tale. Every rhyme I spit was a postmark down. Yo, I remember when Pedro got snatched by fate, left a chalk outline in a warm milk crate. His mother lit candles and prayed by the train, but saints move slow when your zip code's pain. We ain't have no books, just murals and tags. Graffiti prophets with spray cans for flags. The ogres wore badges, no need for disguise. The club sang lullabies under sulfur skies. They said the tortoise beat the hair, not here. Fast men win, slow ones disappeared. I used to watch from the roof, chalk in my hand, draw kingdoms that vanish like footprints in sand.
We fought for peace in a bedtime war. Every cracked tooth told a legend before.
The fables ain't dead, they just walk with a limp. As Cinderella chain smokes behind a precinct. She lost a glass slipper in a dice game fight. Now she's strutting boots with a switchblade bite. Jack ain't climbed no beanstalk round here. He sold the cow for a pack and disappeared. Snow White overdosed in the laundromat booth. In the mirror been cracked since we bent the truth. But I still spit verses like spells on the stoop. Trying to save kids from the same old loop. Some fists learn prayer, some fists learn sin. Some tales end right where they begin. Just bleed, not angel shells. I flicking Kelsey's, I'm on myself. These pages bleed, not made for shelves. Our fables got teeth, we wrote them ourselves. Yo, some love don't fade, it just yellows with time. Like old photos, still warm in the corners of your mind. Look, her scent lived in velvet, her voice like dust. I still feel her touch when the records collect dust. Midnight perfume, slow jazz in a stare. A woman so rare, even silence felt aware. She revolving by the window, legs crossed like fate. Told me love wasn't perfect, just perfectly late. She poured like secrets, leaned back with grace, and smiled like she lived through 100 mistakes. We were framed in the glow of a dying cafe, where time stood still and the jukebox would pray. It ain't always sweet, but it's never unclear. Love is sepia, sharp, soft, sincere.
Love don't vanish, it lingers in air, in whispers and glances and strands of her hair. Faded and golden, still softly it stays, like photos and letters in lavender haze. Love in sepia, tender and white. It lives in the silence, two strangers confide. Rose but eternal, the color won't lie. Still warm in the corners where memories hide.
She moved like a painting, no artist could claim. A brushstroke of sorrow, a mouthful of flame. I told her I rap, she laughed, said that's fine, but write me a poem, you won't rhyme next time. She was part Ella, part Storm, part tea-stained note. Eyes that said day, but a spine that spoke don't. We danced in the kitchen while the world went numb, with miles on the stereo and I passed on the run. We fell in the folds of a linen wrap day. No vows, just a look, that was all we could say. I keep her in poems, I never recite. Love is sepia, not black, not white.
Words don't vanish, it lingers in air, in whispers and glances and strands of her hair. Faded and golden, still softly it stays, like photos and letters in lavender haze. Love in sepia, tender and white. It lives in the silence, two strangers confide. Rose but eternal, the color won't lie. Still warm in the corners where memories hide.
Ain't every love meant to last. Some just hang framed in your soul, quietly aging with class.
Right from the front, the place in the pain. Right from the front, the glass, the reason to the pain.
Woke up with the dawn, spilling ink in my cup. That brown swirl, life thickens when the world gets stuck. Steam rising like spirits from the cracks in the curb. I sip slow, remember mama's soft hands and her words. Bitterness got layers, sweet don't always stay. You learn heat reveals truths that the cold won't say. Used to brew dreams in the back room of my pop store. Now I roast thoughts on the page so they pour pure. Time pressed like a French press, slow with weight. Patience in the filter, that's the secret to fate. Life don't rush, it simmers the flavors and pain. Some mornings it's comfort, some nights it's the rain.
Steam rising from the silence, cup warm in my hands, so timeless. Bitter notes, but I find this. Even pain can be kind when you grind it. Every sip got a memory holding. Even heartbreak tastes golden. Let it bloom in the heat I'm holding. This love, this life, this mood.
Used to drink it black when I was dealing with grief. Back when Jay caught a bid, man, the nights had no peace. Now I stir in cinnamon, maybe nutmeg too. That's growth, add a little sweetness to what you've been through. See the beans get crushed, it's a ritual move. Same way life press you down till the essence gets smooth. Aromas in the air got me thinking of queens, of brownstones, back seats, and cassette tape dreams. She said life's just coffee, depends how you brew it. Some like it hot, some sugar coat through it. I like mine honest. There's no cream to disguise. If it keeps me awake, then it's truth in disguise.
Steam rising from the silence, cup warm in my hands, so timeless. Bitter knows, but I find this. Even pain can be kind when you grind it. Every sip got a memory holding. Even heartbreak tastes golden. Let it bloom in the heat I'm holding. This love.
Folks chase highs, brew peace. Low flame, no fame, just truths I release. The cafe's a chapel, baristas like preachers. Each pour a sermon to silence a teacher. Me and her by the window talking weather and fears. 2 mugs, steam kissing like ghosts of our years. Told her even the bitter got purpose, is true. She smiled like she knew that from heartbreak too. So here's to the slow days, the stains on the page. A sip that reminds you you're setting your age. If life's just coffee, then let it be strong. 1 cup for the losses, 1 verse for the law.
A bloom, don't ask who bled beneath. It opens wide and wilting breeze.
She wore gloves when she kissed me, habit or guilt. Lipstick like sirens on fabric she spilt. Cold case lips, warm brief like a fog. She moved like a secret the streets couldn't log. Evidence bag had a scent and a grace. A single rose lay folded in its plastic embrace. She whispered names I never should know. In motels where confessions go toe to toe. 1 petal fell in the alley by dawn. By breakfast, the fingerprints were gone. She slipped out the window like truth in reverse. Left the wedding ring tucked in the verse. Each syllable stained in a bloom of red, where ink that knew which judge had bled.
She left roses on the evidence bag. Truth tied up in a satin gag.
1 rose per victim, she said with a grin. Each petal a prayer for original sin. The DA folded like origami in fear. He drank from a file she had doctored last year. Surveillance caught a ghost at the scene, but all they recovered was morphine and lean. No weapon, no motive, no trace in the dirt. Just petals and papers and perfume on a shirt. She scribbled a quote on a bailiff's badge. Even justice blushes when the truth won't match. She danced at the trial in the widow's bail, then left the courthouse with her soul on sale. A single rose in the clerk's front pocket, and ink on a stem, the name of a prophet.
She left roses on the evidence bag. Truth tied up in a satin gag.
She said memory lies but flowers don't. They bloom from the wound and die where they won't. I saw her last by the riverside docks, trading petals for secrets in Pandora's box. She handed me 1, said keep it shut, then vanished through fog with a laugh cut. The rose still sits in my rhyme book's fold, crimson and quiet like a secret untold. They say the case went cold like a widow's gaze, but a ghost still signs subpoenas in haze. Truth wears heels and perfume in red, and leaves 1 rose where the evidence bled.
Even faded pages remember the hand that turned. What we bury still speaks beneath the earth.
Back porch summer, grandma sipping on hibiscus. Photo frames crooked, but the love stay persistent. Old shoes by the door like they waiting for ghosts. And the mirror don't lie, just reflects what it knows. I seen fathers vanish like chalk on a board, and mothers hold pain like it's stitched in their chords. Street lights buzz like they singing in prayer, and the sky wore my sorrow like a silk evening wear. Memories a room that I walk through alone. Every floorboard creaks with a voice I've known. Lessons in whispers, bruises and rhymes. Still I dust off the pain like it aged in a wine.
Velvet fall beneath the trees. Memory hums in minor keys.
Beneath lamplight, I wrote names in esteem. Wounds ain't loud, but they still like to scream. Took a long road just to learn how to feel, cause the scars taught truths that the joy tried to steal. I kept coins from the buses I missed, letters unsent and the lips I ain't kissed. Every goodbye was a slow burning grace, a little soft candle in memory space. Even pain has a color, a tone, a scent, like sandalwood carried with a silence wind. Forgiveness ain't magic, it's muddy and slow, but sometimes the soul plants seeds just to grow.
Velvet fall beneath the trees. Memory hums in minor keys.
Some memories break you, some rebuild the frame, but they all know your name.
Feathers don't lie when the sky turns black. Messes still fly where the roof got cracks.
We wrote letters to the pigeon coop, tied them in thread, hoping wings could carry what our mouths left unsaid. Rooftops taught us faith, them birds came back, even when the hood collapsed like a lung gone black. I seen Rel kiss the sky with a Marlboro flicked, and tell me heavens broke too with just hit his flick. We fed them breadcrumbs and whispered our sins like flight might forgive where the concrete begins. Miss Sylvia said child pigeons got eyes for ghosts, and the coop caught secrets that the church feared most. I kept a journal in the crack of the air shaft wall where the wind told truths that the preacher stole.
Let us fly high where the prayers can't reach. A rooftop gospel no man could teach.
Lil Tone take poems to a bird with a twist. Said it flew to his brother doing fed time bids. We ain't have therapists, just stairwells and pens and pigeons that came back like loyal old friends. Cops raided the roof one summer at dawn. Though we was running dope, just dreams getting born. Ink stains on my palms from the nights too loud. Well, hope got smuggled in the form of a cloud. We learned to write soft cause the city was loud, and send lines up high just to think out loud. When your tears too dry and your voice don't work, you let the sky translate what the ground done hurt.
Feathers no pain, but they never complain. They carry our stories too soon and rain.
Now the coop just rust and the sky feels small, and the pigeons moved on, maybe heard God call. But I still write notes when the nighttime hums, fold them tight like prayers with calloused thumbs. It ain't the bird that matters, it's the deed to send. Something honest to the sky where the lies don't bend. There's beauty in flight when the world feels stuck, in a rooftop silence when you run out of luck. I used to write names and my boys now gone. Watch pigeons take off like their souls moved on. The coop still stand, crooked wood, bent wire, like a mailbox for ghosts that refuse to retire.
Gold halos, no pearly gates, still they shine through hunger and hate.
God bless the gutter kids, souls unchurched, with lunch tickets forged and their names reversed. Backpack sag with a weak soul rate, but they rhymes still glow when the street lights late. Jamal sell Lucy's by the corner store. He 12 but he talk like he seen 4 wars. His pops in the box, mom white by the pipe, but he penned verses on napkins at night. Kia got dreams under stars and socks, but the counselor just stare at the ticking clock. She braid a pain and the pattern so tight, the hood don't know she almost jumped last night. God bless the gutter kids, bruised but true. Ain't no map, but they still push through.
I seen Darnell take a charge for his older brother. Said blood is the Lord and embraced his mother. 15 in a cage with a grown man stare. Learn math with the dice, now we count to spare. Girl in my building write verses in chalk on a fire escape like a journal can talk. She say pain got rhythm if you sit real still, and her poems cut deeper than a $20 bill. We the sons and daughters of broken receipts, taught to pray with our knuckles and fight with our feet, but still we breathe bars like they float on faith. Trying to find grace in a staircase state. God bless the gutter kids born from flame. The world forgot, but the skies know their name. Know their name, know their name, know their name, know their name.
You can't bear the pain, but the roots still grow. Memory don't flinch when it strikes its blow.
I remember Lil D had a laugh like light till the corner turned dark and swallowed him tight. Mom kept his drawings in a box by the bed. Now they smell like time and the things we ain't said. The past don't knock, it just slide through the vent like smoke from a blunt or a rent check spent. Seen ghosts in the tub where we used to get clean. Now the mirror won't hold what the eye done seen. My knuckles got scars from fights I forgot, but the blood remembers what the pride could not. I trace my childhood on the back of a bill. Still hear my name in the mouth of the grill.
Memory don't care how deep you pray. It returns like dusk at the end of day.
My uncle got shook in 92, lost speech. Now we blank out answers the liquor can't reach. Used to run numbers from the back of the store. Now his hands just tremble like keys on the floor. I ain't scared of death, just the things it leaves. Like a chain on a soul that never believes. My man Tone hung himself with a belt from Sears. Left a note that just read, too many years. Tried to forget, but the block got breath. Even silence here got a scent to death. A broken fan spin like a clock with no face. I still hear his voice every time it rotates.
Mercy don't visit where memory lives. It takes and it takes, but it never forgives.
Even my rhymes wear coats full of grief, lined with names that cracked and like a gold front's teeth. I see the hood like a hallway of locked up drawers. Everyone stuffed with what time ignores. I touched the wall where Fat Reggie got clipped. Paint still chipped where the red ones drip. The kids today got the same old scars. Same dice, same lies, same crooked stars. I walk with my past like it owe me rent, but it paying flashbacks and broken cement. You can run from pain, but not from its echo. And memory don't knock, it just kicking the threshold.
Memory don't sleep when your dreams go dark. It just lights a flame where you buried your heart. Memory got no mercy, love. It holds you close, then it cuts you up.
Yeah, gather round, gather round. The oracle has risen from the ashes of the static. From Long Beach to QB, this ain't just prophecy. It's a motherfucking blueprint. Let's talk to him. Ayo, I stepped out the smoke with the crown in the mist. Chrome spokes turn slow like I'm writing a script. Beethoven and Chuck, symphonic with clips. Got the bass line talking like it's flipping a brick. Black gloves, black bins, that's a West Side sermon. We baptize the block with the heat, not the vermin. I see time moving back, watch the real reverse. Every beat I birth sound like the streets last verse. You see the oracle don't talk, he just showing the sin. Every snare crack prophecy, every bar revenge. From the palm tree stretching to them QB stoops. This is G-Funk gospel in a 3-piece suit. West Side oracle, vision in the wind. Gold smoke rolling from a phantom's grin. Truth from the streets, let the sermon begin. If death is a game, then we destined to win. East to the west, we connect through the pen. OG scriptures in the pad in the gin. Ride with the rhythm, feel the message within. This is prophecy from the state to sin. Hey yo, I came from where the wires hang, fire blame. Tales from the sewer where desire sang. Now it's marble floors, but my mind still gripped to the curbside prophet who would die for a sip. I seen visions in the fog, heard gods in the bass, premonitions in the snare. every bar leave a trace. This ain't rap, this is scroll scribed under threat, where we write like we Moses but with text and regret. I walk with the wise, smoke with the curse. The oracle ain't a man, he a verse unrehearsed. I'm just channeling the flames in my spirit and pen, spitting holy on the Dre beat. Where do I begin? West Side Oracle, vision in the wind. Gold smoke rolling from a phantom's grin. Truth from the streets, let the sermon begin. If death is a game, you'll be destined to win. East to the west, we connect through the pen. OG scriptures in the pad and the gin. Ride with the rhythm, feel the message within. This is prophecy from the state of sin.
You don't need noise to make power old. All you need is quiet hands. Is quiet hands and clean nexus. Silk gloves, gun smoke.
Black suit, black sky, wheels hum slow. Chamber still warm from a mission I won't show. Letters in the safe, numbers in my head. Speaking low tones cause the real moving dread. Ain't no flash when the silence does the job right. Looking out the mirror, say ghosts in the fog light. Every step mapped like a general script. Tales from the alley where the cold steel kiss. Hunger in my gut, hands calm when it's grim. Lit, sick, burning like revenge on a whim. This ain't stay, this survival by design. Silk gloves on the scene, no stain, no sign. Silk gloves when I move through the flame. Gun smoke dances while I whisper your name. Eyes in the dark still playing the game, where mercy's a myth and the rules don't claim. Steps through the ash, heart full of cold. Deal with the devil but I never reload. If I vanish in the mist, let the world take note. I left nothing but silence, silk gloves and gun smoke. Gun smoke.
Dust on the boot, soul stitched from the dirt. Never show fear, but I still know hurt. Came from the brick where the light don't gleam. Only saw truth in a cracked moonbeam.
Raised where the whispers hit harder than shouts, where kept the blade in the Bible, prayers and code. Wrote my life in the birch and the scale laid clout. Kept the march of the still, no echo, no burst. Just a life in the margins where the shadows go cold. No talk for the cameras, no shine for the press. Just a quiet disposition and a heart in a vest. Just the march of the still, no echo, no boast. Just a breeze through the curtain, silk gloves, gun smoke. Silk gloves when I move through the flame. Gun smoke dances while I whisper your name. Eyes in the dark still playing the game, where mercy's a myth and the rules don't claim. Steps through the ash, heart full of cold. Deal with the devil but I never reload. If I vanish in the mist, let the world take note. I left nothing but silence, silk gloves and gun smoke. It's the ones that don't speak who you watch the most. Smile like saints but they haunt like ghosts. Everything I learned came soaked in risk. Hearts don't beat the same once they've been dismissed. Seen men lose faith for 100 in cash. Seen them pray still then vanish in ash. Every move calculated, not a breath misplaced. Leave no prints, not a threat out of place. Time don't forgive, it just counts in debt. So I move like a rumor you ain't heard yet. If I go, don't pray, just quote this note. He lived by the code, silk gloves and gun smoke. Yeah, this ain't just music, it's armor. A soundtrack for those who made it through storms. Stand tall, chin up, this was for the fighters. Bulletproof symphony. Yeah, I came from the silence, built from the strain. Learned how to move through the fire and rain. Notes in my chest, rhythm in my stride. Kept my head up when the world trying to slide. Every beat a lesson, every chord a guide. Truth in the bass, can't run, can't hide. Marching through the noise with a voice so bold. Every lyric I wrote, another story told. No need to shout, I speak through sound. Even in storms, I hold my ground. Built this path on purpose and pride. It's a symphony for those who survive. It's a bulletproof symphony, it's a heart song. Melody strong, it's so long. Rising through the trials, pushing through the day. With music as an arm, we find our way. From the strings to the keys to the drums we play. With music as an arm, we find our way.
play. From the strings to the keys to the drums we play. We carry our truth in what we say. From the strings to the keys to the drums we play. We carry our truth in what we say. No fear in the sound, just hope and might. This symphony shines through the darkest night.
Yeah, I write like I'm building a bridge out of pain. Turn thunder into verses and sunshine for rain. Words got wings when I let them take flight. Every rhyme I spit got a little bit of light. Used to feel low, now I rise with grace. Found peace and rhythm, found strength in space. I don't need a break, just bend and bounce back. Like a record that spins and stays right on track. I talk to the keys like they knew my truth. Tell the drums all the things I couldn't in youth. This ain't just a song, it's a legacy spark. A symphony that glows in the deepest dark.
Bulletproof symphony on the song. Melody strong, been pushing so long. Rising through the trials, pushing through the day. With music as our armor, we find our way. From the strings to the keys to the drums we play. We carry our truth in what we say. No fear in the sound, just hope and might. This symphony shines through the darkest night. You don't need noise to be loud. You don't need war to be strong. Sometimes all you need is rhythm and a reason. Bulletproof.
Look, I need chaos to move the crowd. You need clarity, foundation strong, peace in motion. Still sharp, still solid, still supreme. Brick by brick I built with breath. No shortcut steps, just purpose left. Each line laced like jazz in a frame. Cool like dust when the sky feels flame. Walking through the echo with a head full of codes. Verse stay stitched like a tailor on rolls. No flash, just facts in the fold of the beat. Heart in the drums, 10 toes on the street. I ain't moved by the rush or the rush to impress. I invest in the craft, not the stress or the guess. Stillness and rhythm, wisdom and tone. Composed in the chaos and carved from stone. Still supreme, still in tune. Still got light in a sunless room. Still don't bend to the shallow or loud. Still get love from the silent crowd. Still no fear in the weight I hold. Still spit gold when the nights get cold. Still move swift when the world get mean. No crown needed, I'm still supreme. Words been spaced like a jazz man's horn. Bounce off walls like truths reborn. Tight with the script, got a grip on grace. Flip 4 flows in a 4-bar space. Puzzle piece pole with a pen that pivots. Write full loops with a line that liveth. Came from calm, still breeze in the flame. Still no change in the root of the name. Each bar breeze like a breeze through pines. Still plant seeds in the cracks of time. Still no rush, just pure design. Still paint peace with a sharp line rhyme. Still supreme, still in tune. Still got light in the sunless room. Still don't bend to the shallow or loud. Still get love from the silent crowd. Still no fear in the weight I hold. Still spit gold when the nights get cold. Still move swift when the world get mean. No crown needed, I'm still supreme. Yeah. Yeah. Excellence don't need noise. It speaks in silence. This is the standard. Kept it like suits on a jazz night. Blueprints carved with a craftsman's light. No shortcuts, I map the climb. Every beat I touch, I stamp with time. Grace in my motion, no flash in the frame. Calm in the storm, still mastered the game. Let the groove talk while the world still screams. Legacy built from the quietest dreams.
Just class, just kings. We move, just dreams. Clean. We move, we lean. Still the gold standard. Clean.
Flow like water with a mind like stone. Grew from the roots, make the crown my own. Never chase trends, just chase the truth. Lessons I learned still fuel my booth. Calculated steps in a world that spins. Success ain't luck, it's where focus begins. Still sharp, still calm, still walk serene. No throne needed, I'm still supreme.
Just class, just kings. We know, just dreams.
I found peace in the quiet. Left the storm where I stood. Ain't no chains on my spirit, just rhythm in the blood. Let it breathe. Yeah. Used to hear sirens sing with the wind. Now it's just melodies born from within.
Clean slate on the pad, no haze in the glass. Every page that I write helps bury the past. See, I walk through the smoke, never carry the flame. Put the weight down slow, never spoken with shame. Kept my name in the quiet, let the growth unfold. Now I speak for the ones who still gripping the cold. No judgment in my tones, just a mirror with grace. Told myself keep going in the loneliest place. Now I breathe with rhythm and I move with light. Narcotics anonymous, I chose to fight.
How'd I let go, let it fade? Found my soul, make a trade. Ain't no chains in this groove I claim. Now I move with a brand new name. Yeah. Let it ride.
Yo, used to chase shadow bottle of smoke. Mind running wild, but my soul stayed broke. Till I flipped that script, whole plot got switched. Now I build with the bricks that I once dismissed. Every bar now crisp like the breath I take. No more cloudy days in the steps I make. Yeah, I dance with the vice, but I let that waltz. Then I stepped off the stage with a whole new pulse. No shame in the stumble when you walk back clean. Now I glide on tracks like a well-oiled machine. Ain't chained to the past, I'm the proof in the scene. Narcotics anonymous, but the vision stay keen.
I let go, let it fade. Found my soul, made the trade. Ain't no chains in this groove I claim. Now I move with a brand new name.
What you say? Turn the lights down, turn the mics up. Pressure builds character. This a heat check. Let's see who really got it. Still crisp like vinyl on a Sunday spin. Still clocking plays like I'm born to win. Never fold, never flinch when the stakes get set. Blueprint in my breast, still cash and respect. Every bar like a test with the flame on high. Still smooth with the stride, but the aim don't lie. This grown man focus, no gimmicks and reach. This a lecture in the booth, I don't talk, I teach. Heat check, stand firm or fold. Who built for the fire when the nights get cold? Heat check. Don't fake, don't flee, only real ones cook at 1,000 degrees. Clocked in calm, but the flow's on scorch. Still ride clean like I'm sitting on a porch. Words like bricks in a tailor-made stack. Every rhyme well fit, no crease, no crack. Talk quiet, but I move like a storm on glass. Every move calculated, not a second too fast. They throw smoke, but I breathe through that. I don't run from the heat, I lean into that. Heat check, stand firm or fold. Who built for the fire when the nights get cold? Heat check, don't fake, don't flee. Only real ones cook at 1,000 degrees. I was made in the ash where the pressure gets born. Steel in my spine, walk calm through the storm. No flash, no capes, just facts in my lane. Every scar on the path got a value, not shame. Yeah. It's that slow roll, tension think, wheels dips, hydraulics up, hatred low. Calm in the storm with the speakers thumping. Sunset chrome with the street lights humming. Low ride ghosting, mind on cold. Wheels don't talk but the silence bold. Pressure in the pipes, peace in the lane. Built for the weight, not the chase of fame. All black tint, no flash, no fear. Still I rise, every shift I steer. Cold, drip, hate, still, roll, slow. Mind, chill, hydraulics lift, don't break. Eyes wide, no fake, no fake. Yeah. What's up? Cruise through the dusk with the west side calm. No rush in the step, just gripping the palm. Seen foes fall off, trying to ride too fast. But I move with the beat like I'm built to last. Grit in my tone, but my drive stay clean. Let the paint talk truth while I slide between. No names, no shade, I just cut through smoke. And I float like a prayer when the system spoke. Cranes, cold, grip, hate, still, roll, slow, mind, chill, hydraulics lift, don't break, eyes wide, no fake, yeah. Low voice, fade in street, and feel what I hire. Yeah, go to, yeah, life's low.
no rush, just soul, velvet, smoke. Seat back, sky wide, mind on hush. No static in the air, just a breeze and trust. Old soul in the deck, chrome wheels in motion. Glass clear thoughts like the tide in the ocean. Slide through the haze with the world on mute. Every second like jazz, complex but smooth. No stress in the lane, just rhythm and grace. I don't race with time, I two-step with space.
Float up in that velvet smoke. Feeling free, ain't nothing broke. Cool breeze, no words spoke. Just that soul in the cloud of hope.
Now I glide like a note in a Marvin track. Clean ride, clean mind, ain't no looking back. Dashboard glow with that midnight gleam. Palm trees sway like they know my dream. Peace on my side like a well-worn suit. Truth in my steps, yeah, I slide with roots. No hate in the vibe, just good in the air. Let the smoke swirl soft like a prayer with flair.
Earth floating in that velvet smoke. Feeling free, ain't nothing broke. Cool breeze, no words spoke. Just that soul and a cloud of hope.
Yeah, 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 drift, yeah. Let it drift, let it breathe, let it breathe, let it breathe. Velvet smoke, that's a piece on the lax.
Cali soul, paint clean, mind's clearer, low by the dream. Still rolling,
Steel frame, soft leather ties kiss the lane. Peace in the breeze, no rush in the vein. Palm trees lean when the rhythm pass by, and the chrome catch sun like a wink from the sky. Grew through the struggle, but I rise with grace. Now I ride through the block like I own my space. No hate in the heart, just beats and steam. West Coast raised me, low rider dream.
The windows down, sunbeam gleam. Cruising slow through the soul-filled dream. Paint so wet, it drip like stream. Feeling good in this low-rider dream.
Peace signs out, not a word too loud. Old schools talk when they roll through crowds. Kept it clean, no stains on the pride. Just wood grain wheel and a queen on the side. I remember them nights when the tank was light. Now we cruise through the town like the stars done right. No noise, no change, just the thought supreme. Living proof on spokes, low rider dream.
When windows down, sunbeam gleam. Cruising slow through a soul-filled dream. Paint so wet, it drip like stream. Feeling good in this low-rider dream.
Let it ride, let the wheel speak. Same speed, style. Low rider dreams. Forever.
This ain't muscle, it's memory. It's not firepower, it's focus. We ain't talking metal. Precise flair, relentless.
The pen's a blade, I write with a monk's composure. Every line etched in stone like a wartime closure. I move through dimensions of thought like wind over water. Scripture in the cipher, discipline in the armor. Every breath is intention, no motion wasted. I build with the ancients while the presence debated. See, the mind is the forge and the words of the flame. I don't battle with flesh, I dismantle the frame.
Mental weapon, soul forged steel. Truth cut deep, wisdom don't kill. Move in silence, strike the brace. Power in the mind, not a single trace.
I load thoughts in the chamber, insight in the clip. Precision in the verse, watch it tighten the grip. I'm composed like Coltrane, clean with the syntax. Stacked every scar like a spine for my syntax. Meditative measures never move for the trend. Got a mind like a maze where illusions end. You swing with emotion, I carve with intent. Every line of life lesson, not a dollar spent.
Two-toe weapons, soul for steel. Truth cut deep, wisdom don't yield. Move in silence, strike with grace. Power in the mind, not a single trace. And Arthur's home. We strike behind. We minimal boys. Just meant we go.
Yeah. There. I seen the rise, I seen the fall. Same game, same rules, just a different hall. They play loud, I move quiet. I'm still here, I'm still watching. Took notes while the world kept talking in circles. Truth bends quick, but the lies go purple. Legends fade when they chase too fast. I learned how to build with a shadow that lasts. No need for the flash, I just sharpen the view. They paint over scars, I preserve what's true. I watch them trade gold for applause in the room, but I grew from the dirt like a rose in the tomb. I don't talk much, I just watch time. See the patterns in the pain, every lost line. Where the silence speak, I find my truth. Still here, still clear from the roots to the roof. Yeah, from the benches to the marble halls, I seen both. What they call power, I call it thin rope. Heard whispers in the vaults, visions in the fog, and found truth in the echoes of a long gone God. I never blinked when the lights got bright. I just walked through the storm with a pen in a fight. You watch the throne, I watch the frame. What you call glory, I call the game. I don't talk much, I just watch time. See the patterns in the pain, every lost line. Where the silence speak, I find my truth. Still here, still clear from the roots to the roof. I used to run from the mirror, now I stare for clues. The silence taught more than the loudest news. I kept notes in the margins of every regret. Now I use them like maps for the paths I've met. There's a war in the mind that the charts don't show, and a price for the peace that the fame can't know. So I scale back the noise, let the rhythm speak. Still sharp in the soul, no need to peek. They chase trends, betrays truth. Still watching, still walking. The watcher never sleeps.
They see the flick, but never the climb. They count the stacks, but never the spine. This ain't about hustle, it's about history. The re-up chronicle.
Blueprints buried in crates and contracts. Dreams so daily with receipts and setbacks. I watch them chase fast but lose direction. I build from the pain, now the grind's perfection. This the quiet math, no noise in the plot. Where silence buys peace and the talkers get caught. Each move is a lesson, each step is weight. And the coldest kings know how to wait.
Stack slow, never fold. Keep that heart on freeze, soul on gold. Eyes on time, hands in dirt. Real ones build through the sweat and hurt.
Stack slow, never fold. Keep that heart on freeze, soul on gold. Eyes on time, hands in dirt. Real ones build through the sweat and hurt. Walk through the drought with a plan and a prayer. Built my honest, no flash, just stare. Some talk legacy, I live in the proof. Every bar stitched tight like a tale of truth. No rush in the pulse, I just carve my lane. While they race for the top, I just master the frame. See the art in the scale, not the weight it brings. It's the patience in the process that makes men kings.
Stack slow, never fold. Keep that heart on freeze, soul on gold. Eyes on time, hands in dirt. Real ones build through the sweat and hurt.
I don't talk much, I just load the facts. Lessons ain't deep in the folds of the tracks. Took notes in the war room, mind stayed clear. Pain on my breath, but my pride ain't here. They sell quick wins, I'm investing in grit. Every scar that I carry got a lesson with it. Build mine from the silence where the fake won't go. And I still write clean, let the real ones know.
This ain't a come up what he brings, I'm the destined queen. Every star that I got a lesson in heat. No lies in the silence where the fake won't go. And I still write clean, let the real ones know. This ain't a come up, it's a rise. No lights, no lies, just pages, pages. From the re-up chronicles.
No distractions, no fear, breathe. In bars, it's that zone they can't fake. It's that flow state. Look,
My mind move like a monk in a mist. Clear lane, clear aim, not a second I miss. See, I train through the noise, learn peace in the fire. Now I write what I live and I speak to inspire. From the court to the page, from the dust to the light. Every loss made me sharper, every wrong made right. I ain't chasing a crown, I'm just carving my truth. Got a pen full of wisdom and a booth full of proof.
Don't burn, don't blink, don't break. Ride the wave, let the soul awake. Breathe in new shape. Niggas on mad, it's that so state. Burn, don't blink, I'm brave. Out the wave, let the soul awake. Flow state. Breathe in, move straight. In the zone now, this is flow state.
I ain't in it for the chill, I'm in tune with the scale. Meditation in the bars, revelation and skill. Took the pain, turned it up right, made a rhythm of scars. Now the page is a mirror and the verse is the stars. Time slow when I'm locked in, post on mute. Every syllable breathing like it's born from the roots. Ain't no talk in the mind, just a dance of the fate. No past, no name, just the present I create.
Don't burn, don't blink, don't break. Ride the wave, let the soul awake. Breathe in, move straight. In the zone now, this that flow state.
Everything clear now. No chaos, no ego. Just rhythm and down, flow state.
No filters, no noise, just me and the mirror. Every scar, every thought, every verse.
Look, what you see in the glass might shake your stance. Truth ain't dressed up, it don't blink to dance. It just stare with the weight of the past to frame, while the present plays chess in the master flame. I've been wrong, I've been righteous, I've been both in the day. Learn the soul got seasons and the flesh decay. This ain't posture, this is posture breaking. This that honest rap, no ego faking. Mirror show me what the crowd can't see. The part of me that bleeds while I still MC. Not for clicks, not for praise or charts, but to stitch loose threads in the fabric of hearts. I look in the glass, what I see ain't fame. It's the cost of the fire and the roots of the name. Not a mask, not a game, just a mirror and the flame. Mirror talking says you ain't healed, just hitting. You rhyme clean, but the shadow's still smitten. I try burying the past in the bars, but it floats to the surface like a buried note. Truth in a whisper, louder than screams. Regret in a loop like rerunning dreams. No flex, just confession and code. Each word a brick in the road I roll. So I pen like a monk with a blade in hand, trying to carve out peace in a no-pace land. The mirror don't lie, it just magnifies what the world forgets when the surface shines. I look in the glass, what I see ain't fame. It's the cost of the fire and the roots of the name. Not a mask, not a game, just a mirror in the flame.
Some persons chase approval, some chase applause, but this is
I'm not saying I'll change the world, but I promise to spark the minding. Where's your father now? I'm not saying I'll change the world, but I promise to spark the mind that will. Where's your father?
Born where shadows speak louder than words. Compton's heartbeat was the first sound I heard. Mama's voice cracked like glass in the night. Daddy's silence cut deeper than any fight. Broken dinners on cracked linoleum floors. Echoes of sirens, prayers behind closed doors. I held a notebook before I knew the pain. Every line was a scar, every verse was rain. Before the pen touched pad, the pad touched pain. Lessons in the struggle ran heavy through my veins. I learned to speak through the silence and screams, crafting a future from fractured dreams.
Ooh, child, the weight runs deep. Before the pen touched pad, the pad touched pain. Voices from the past still whisper to me. Before the pen touched pad, the pad touched pain.
Daddy's shadow long, but his footsteps were faint. Mama carried storms in the hope of saints. I watched Tupac preach from the flickering screen. Words like fire burning clean with a beam. Keep your head high, he said through the haze. Like the path forward through darkest days. Her mentor's voice left on my voicemail one night. Write your truth, son, don't fear to fight. Before the pen touched pad, the pad touched pain. My story inked in tears, loss and rain. Every verse a prayer, every rhyme a flame. A prophecy born in the heart of the pain.
Ooh, child, the weight runs deep. Before the pen touched pad, the pad touched pain. Voices from the past still whisper to me. Before the pen touched pad, the pad touched pain.
It ain't hard to tell, this is God's pen, cold speaking. I wrote this in the dark, now the whole world's peeking. From them school halls where the chalk dust flew, to the booth where the pain turned dreams into truth. Mama prayed over meals while the lights stayed dim. Now I dine with my heroes, still thinking of them. Still feel the wind from that Brad Blog night, where the sirens sang blues and the block stayed tight. You can change your clothes, but the soul stayed home. Fayetteville in my blood, in the beat, in the tone. Labels talking budgets, I talk legacy and spine. Ain't no diamond on my neck worth the weight of my mind. A rose from the clay where the roots run deep, where we bury young dreams and lose brothers in sleep. But I made it with a notebook. Broke nights in a plane, now I'm writing from the sky with this mic in my hand. Seen the world, seen the shade, seen the light through it all. Still that same youngin' staring at that bedroom wall. Just a spark in my chest and a prayer in the night. Now I ink revelations in the booth till it's right. And I ain't preaching, I'm just speaking what's true. What the mirror don't say, but your spirit already knew. Ain't about plaques or the charts of fame's little dance. It's about writing something real in the world. So if I vanish tomorrow, let them quote me like songs. Just a poet from the Ville who put pain in his palms. They say heaven's above, but I found it in sound. In that first verse I wrote when no one was around. Yeah. Started with nothing but a beat and a belief. Now look, not a star, just a voice that made it out the static.
He was my guide, my shelter through this rain. Taught me strength even when he felt pain. In his silence I found my way. Papa's love still echoes every day.
I remember coming home with them scuffed up shoes. Mama yelling, but it's Pop who gave the realest truths. Never said too much, but his eyes will preach. He ain't teach from a book, he let his silence teach. Hard hands work still just to pay them dues. Barely had time, but made sure we never lose. Slick with the wisdom, he say, boy, take the pain. Turn it into power, don't you drown in the rain. He ain't hug much, but his presence was felt. When life dealt me blows, he showed me how to stealth. A king in the shadows, no throne, no crown, but he built my kingdom, now I hold it down.
Oh, he stood like a mountain, never swayed. In his silence, love never decayed. He was the sun when the skies turned gray. My father's love still lights my way.
I seen him cry once, thought the world might break. Funeral suit, holding tears for his brother Jake. Told me, man, cry too, don't be afraid to feel, but stand tall, cause the pain makes you real. He ain't had much school, but his mind was deep. While the streets gave me chaos, he gave me peace. Never raised a hand, raised me with his pride. Taught me how to walk like a man, not hide. He said, son, your name is the sword you swing. Seco King is what's leveled the wing. I used to think he ain't understand me, but now I look in the mirror and I see him in me. Every move I make, every lesson I pass on, that's Pop living through me, eternal and strong, yeah.
He was my guide, like a shelter through the rain. Taught me strength, even when he felt pain. He was your son, was our way. Our Father's love still echoes my reign.
So here's to the real ones, the fathers who ain't need applause, who just showed up. showed us what love really was. Pop, I love you. Love.
Keep your head clear, boy, but the streets keep whispering.
Fuck, why this weight so heavy on my chest? Footsteps echo on cracked concrete. Mind's a maze, no escape, no retreat. Sirens blend with lullabies I never knew. Mama's tears round out the morning dew. Paranoia's a shadow, always 2 steps ahead. Voices in my head tell me some things better left unsaid. Don't trust no one, whispers my past self cold. But the pain inside the story never told. Lord, can you hear the prayers I don't speak? The nights I drown alone and weak. I'm battling ghosts inside these city walls. CPT bred me, but these scars crawl. Compton state of mind, can't leave it behind. Can't leave it behind.
Demons in my vision, fighting for my mind.
Streets whisper lies, but I'm seeking the signs.
God help me rise through these CPT lines. Present me, stay sharp, don't fold. Pass me, they watch it, they know. God, child, I'm holding you close.
Trauma's a teacher with a cruel hand. I write in blood, not just sand. Paranoia's the price of survival here. Every corner hides a memory, every shadow fear. They say pain's a passage, but it feels like a cell. I'm talking to my demons in this private hell. But even in darkness, I search for the light. Compton nights long, but I'm ready to fight. Compton state of mind, can't leave it behind.
Demons in my vision, fighting for my mind.
Streets whisper lies, but I'm seeking the signs.
God help me rise through these CPT lines. Keep running, keep praying. Present me, I'm holding on, I'm still breathing. God. Keep running, keep praying. Present me, I'm holding on, I'm still breathing. God, child, spirits unbroken.
Yeah. Looking at the sky, but my feet stuck in dirt. Fame don't erase pain, just dresses it up hurt. Mama said life's a lesson, pain is the teacher. I'm a student of scars, survivor, preacher. Lost too many souls to the cold night's breath. Their names etched deep in the silence of death. Success is just a coffin with designer sheets. Luxury's a mask when you hear sirens on repeat. I'm laughing on stages, but inside I'm ghosting. Trying to live for the ones who never got chosen. Every spotlight casts a shadow of guilt. My wins feel small next to the blood that's spilt. Fame's a double-edged sword, I'm bleed. Still I rise, but I wonder who's watching me bleed. Life's a lesson, but the price is steep.
Looking for peace in the company I keep.
Lost in the night where the angels weep.
Success is just a coffin with designer sheets.
Chaos in my mind, painting scenes vivid. Living fast, but the clock ticking, gotta pivot. Existential war zones inside my brain. Trying to find meaning in all this pain. Fame's a cold throne, but the crown's a cage. Battling demons while I'm center stage. Life's a lesson, but I'm learning slow. Every high's a low, every friend's a foe. Time slips like it through my fingers. Legacy's a song that forever lingers. Success, nah, just a gilded grave. Designer sheets, but I ain't truly saved. Life's a lesson, but the price is steep.
Looking for peace in the company I keep.
Lost in the night where the angels weep.
Success is just a coffin with designer sheets.
Keep your eyes open. Life's a lesson, not a destination. We all just walking through stalk. Yeah. From the block to the top, the world was in my hands. But shadows lurk where light lands. Stepped out the gutter, now my pockets got weight. Building legacies while I negotiate fate. Every move calculated, crown heavy on my dome. But at night I wonder if I'm really home. Got the city on my back like I'm Atlas with the globe. Speaking verses, every line's a heavy load. The throne feels cold when you're sitting all alone. Is this empire mine or just a borrowed home?
The world was mine, but I lent it out.
currency, I'm rich in the grind. But imposter's voice lurks deep inside my mind. I'm the king and the question all at once, fighting shadows in the palace, ready to confront. Flashing lights, but the mirror shows cracks. Confidence wears thin under all these attacks. I'm living proof dreams can turn to gold, but sometimes I'm scared, the story's been sold.
The world was mine, but I lent it out. The world was mine, but I lent it out.
Yeah. Every crown a cage, every throne a trap. Smiles on the surface, but my soul's a map. Lost in the maze where the light forgot. The world was mine, until it's not.
Hour is nigh, judgment day is coming. Prepare your soul.
I'm the voice from the gutter, the shadow on the curb. From a place where the hurt feed the fire and the nerves. No mask, just the truth you can't dodge. I'm the sin in your skin, the streets catalog, say my name. Who's behind the mask? The preacher or the flask? I'm the chaos in the calm, the scripture in the palm, the bomb in your mind, the storm before the calm.
I'm the voice of reason, the man who's seen seasons. Dreams turn lessons, truth for no appeasing. I rise from the pain, baptized in the rain. But that kid from the block still runs deep in my veins. Duality's a battle, I wrestle with myself. One foot in the light, the other in the hell. The mask ain't a prison, it's a place to transform. But sometimes the preacher fights the storm.
You preach salvation, but I'm the damnation. The voice in your head causing hesitation. You want peace, I bring war. You want love, I bring scars. I'm the past, you buried deep beneath your bars. I'm the hope in the dark, the spark in the fight. The hand reaching out when the soul takes flight. Mask or no mask, the truth remains plain. It's all me in the mirror, joy, sorrow, and pain.
Prepare your soul for the day of reckoning.
Yeah. Flash Polaroids, frozen moments in time. Back when the days blurred between crime and rhyme. Playgrounds turned battlegrounds, echoes in the air. First losses, first cries, pain too heavy to bear. We prayed with BB guns under the mattress. God was a rumor, pain was practice. Shotgun funerals and whispered goodbyes. Learning early that childhood's just a disguise. Johnny lost to the streets, mama's tears never dried. I asked if we were kids or just survivors in disguise. Playing cops and robbers with no rules to keep. Dreams tangled in shadows, too dark to sleep. Nights full of sirens, the cold metal in hand. Friends turn ghosts, footprints in the sand. Was innocence stolen or never really ours? Just Polaroids and prayers beneath shattered stars.
Look back now, what did we really have? A broken lullaby, a world cold and sad. But in those flashes of time, some light still remains. Even in darkness, hope calls out our names. We weren't just kids, we were soldiers of pain. Learning early that life's more lost than gain. Polaroids and prayers, memories that sting. Questioning forever if we ever were kings.
Yo, started from the bottom with a vision in my mind. City lights flicker, but I knew I had to grind. Mama told me, son, keep your head to the sky. Every struggle's just a lesson, gotta reach and try. Books in my backpack, rhymes in my soul. Dreams bigger than the block where the stories unfold. Late night street fights, but I'm steady on the path. Focused on the future, can't let them do the math. They said you ain't gon' make it, but I kept my pace. Saw the light in the tunnel, ran my own race. Patience is a virtue, hustle's the key. From the pavement to the palace, that's the way it gotta be. Keep your dreams alive, let them burn inside. From the struggle to the top, gotta take that ride. No shortcuts, no lies, just the truth and the grind. Achieve your dreams, let your spirit shine.
Every setback a setup for a greater comeback. Learn from every loss, put my soul on the track. Vision so clear, I could see it in my sleep. Now the climb's a mountain, but the summit's steep. I remember cold nights, pockets almost bare. Now I'm living proof that the dream's still there. Wisdom in the scars, strength in the pain. I'm the author of my story, writing through the rain. Legacy over riches, meaning over gold. Achieving more than wealth, gotta break the mold. From the boroughs to the globe, let the message spread. Dreams ain't just for sleeping, it's a life you gotta live. Keep your dreams alive, let them burn inside. From the struggle to the top, gotta take that ride. No shortcuts, no lies, just the truth in the grind. Achieve your dreams, let your spirit shine. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Keep your heart in the game. Through the storms and the trials, gotta fan a flame. Every step, every breath, closer to the peace of silence of your soul. That's the strength you seek, so keep your head up. Eyes locked on the prize. Every legend was a dreamer with fire in their eyes. From the block to the throne, keep your faith supreme. This is more than a hustle, this is achieving your dreams.
This one's for the real queens holding it down. The wisdom of a mother, lessons passed around. Let me take you back. Mama told me, son, keep your head up high. When the world gets colder, let your spirit die. She said, life's a hustle, but keep it on the low. Respect's the currency, let your honor show. Late nights in the kitchen, smelling cinnamon and thyme. Stories about the struggle, how she survived the grind. Taught me patience and strength in every single line. Never let no man tell you how to define your prime. She schooled me on the real, the love and the pain. How to weather through the storm, dance in the rain. Her words like a shield when the game's insane. Mama's wisdom in my heart like an eternal flame. Mother's wisdom is the code I live by, guiding me through life when the stakes run high. Every lesson, every tear, every lullaby. Mama's voice in my soul, never say goodbye. From the cradle to the struggle, she was always there. Taught me how to move through life with love and care. Keep your circle tight, watch the snakes beware. Stay true to yourself, never play unfair. She said, boy, dreams don't work unless you do. Put your faith in action, let your heart stay true. Her hands worn down, but her spirit never broke. A queen in the shadows, that's the wisdom she spoke. No silver spoon, just the strength to believe. Lessons that money can never achieve. So I carry a voice like a record on repeat. Mother's wisdom, life's ultimate beat. Mother's wisdom is the code I live by, guiding me through life when the stakes run high. Every lesson, every tear, every lullaby. Mama's voice in my soul, never say goodbye. Mama's words echo through the years. Through the heartbreaks, through the cheers. She built me up, chased away my fears. Mother's wisdom, music to my ears. So here's to the mothers, queens of the street, the backbone of every victory. Never beat, their wisdom's the crown that we all wear. Respect to mama, love beyond compare. Yo, I step out the crib with my soul in my laces. Eyes wide open, reading pain on faces. Mama on the stoop, rocking back with a sigh. Saying prayers through the smoke that float up to the sky. Corner boys post like prophets with their palms and dice. Talking futures and slang under busted street lights. Gunshots echo like unresolved chords. Windows slam shut like unanswered doors. Mural on the wall, angel with a fro. Paint chip like the promise that the youngins don't know. Elder sip slow, playing chess with time, moving pawns like dreams in a narrow design. I see laughs in the heat, even broke folks joke. See $1 get flipped just to buy one smoke. A baby girl jumping rope with a chalk outlines fade. She smile like the sun don't owe shade. So, joy and struggle, side by side like stoop steps. Ain't nothing hidden if your eyes stay wide. OG nod at me, keep your head on tight. Wisdom dripping from his grill like the dawn from night.
Storefront creature yelling truth from milk crates while lovers slow dance to the sound of mistakes. Shoelace loose, I tread careful but proud, with a pen in my pocket and my mind in the clouds. See a cipher by the hydrant, bars get lit, and every rhyme spit is a prayer that fits. Ambulance blur past like a neon ghost, while the bodega cats sleep like you seen the most. Broken glass glitter like hopes deferred, and I write every sight like a spoken word. So I move through the scene with my spirit in sync. This the ink that I bleed, this the place that I think. Eyes wide open, taking notes in the rain, trying to find peace in the picture and beauty and pain. Yeah. The hood is a canvas. Every day another layer. Keep your eyes wide. The truth, the lowest lie.
Train